Hello. Please tell me if I'm too loud or if the music is too loud, because I'm very bad at judging how much it needs to be. How's everyone doing? You sound great. Awesome. Thank you, Shane, for the very quick feedback. How about the music? Because I've had trouble with the music lately where the music just doesn't play and it's very frustrating. There should be a light music in the background, just a little bit. Music is fine. Okay, awesome. Look at that. Everything is good. Fantastic. Awesome. I try to level up my game a little bit this week. How's it going, guys? Good to see y'all. Yeah, I put in a little extra work this week. Camera's looking good. Mic is looking good. I'm using a different mic. It is a pretty quiet week around here. But I have a computer I need to build, so I thought I might as well come on stream and do it with y'all. Much better than doing it alone, I suppose. But we'll get started with that soon. Just gonna hang out for a few minutes and wait for people to come in. The computer we're building today does not have a surefire budget. It's not an exact number. It is for my uncle. So my uncle is a man in his 50s, and he's decided to kind of get back into videographer, I think, for weddings or for other events, and he needs a computer to edit videos on. But you know, you don't want to go crazy to start off with that, so I said I'd build him a computer somewhere between the $600 and $700 price range, and that would include tax, of course, because you know this isn't a YouTube video. So I got some stuff. We'll see what we can do. It might not be replicable, to be honest. This is not one of those videos where I only do stuff that people can replicate. This was making a computer for someone I know, so try to get the best deal I could, even if it didn't make sense for a video. So, we'll have fun building it. Coalition Gaming, Chris, what's up, man? How is it going? Jonathan asks, question, is your mic receiver plugged into the Type-C port in PC or use the aux connector? Right now, it is plugged into the aux port. It sure is, yeah. It's into the mic connector in the back of the computer. Could use a USB-C, I just chose not to. Alfred, what's up, man? I love your budget builds, please make more. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You'll be happy to know I have I think like a $200 or a $250 one coming out in the next few weeks. Driving home from work, it's that time of the day for me. Well, at least you're done with work, man. Camera quality improved, drastic compared to webcam. Yes, that is true. This is actually another webcam. It's still a webcam. It's just a different webcam. So yeah, and the lighting is a lot better this time. So, and I've worked with the settings to make it look not as choppy. The Duck asks, is Ryzen 5 5600 for $70 good? I would say yeah. I'd say it's pretty good. I think it's a good price, yeah. Even if it's not the X, I think it's pretty good. And that's a pretty good entry-level CPU for DDR4. I like it a lot. I like the 5600 a lot, and it's not that old, so yeah, man, that's a great find for sure. Not amazing, don't get me wrong. If it's used, that's a good deal, but it's not like crazy. But yeah, for sure, that's a great start to a budget build. Very cool. Do I sell my budget builds? Sometimes I do. So I explained this in the last stream. A lot of the budget builds I make on this channel get tossed right into the garbage. So I'll take the entire computer and then leave it out by the curb, and then the garbage men will come and take it and then like take it to the garbage dump. So they just get tossed out, just trashed, because I can't have a bunch of computers sitting around. So yeah, I toss them out, throw them away. It's a whole thing. They just start to pile up. So what are you supposed to do with them, right? Like, you need to know what to do. And that's when Zach finds it somehow. Yes, there's a skulky man who walks around my neighborhood and picks up from my trash, like some dumpster diving guy. He's about 6'3", maybe 200 pounds on a soaking wet. And yeah, he goes through my trash and pulls out computer parts, so he's pretty weird. But on a serious note, sometimes I do. A lot of the time the budget builds get disassembled and the parts get put into other computers for other videos. Sometimes the parts get sold individually if I know I won't need them anymore. Sometimes they do get sold on a whole, like the whole computer will get sold, but I don't sell them online. I don't sell them to, I don't sell them to you, is what I'm saying. And the majority of that is that I don't want to deal with shipping them, and I don't want to sell to a viewer because I don't have time to troubleshoot them if anything goes wrong 2, 3, 6 months, a year from now. And I don't want to burden you guys with that because a lot of them are budget builds and things can happen with budget builds. So you never know. And I don't want to be that person who, you're hitting up a year later saying a computer broke because I just don't have time for it. So if I do sell a computer, which is not often, it'll just be to someone local in my neighborhood. And that'll be how I serve my community, like my local PC community. This is how I serve y'all through the YouTube videos. And then selling budget build to my local community is how I serve them. So just different ways of servitude, just different things you can do. I do, but I'm not a saint, guys. I take profit on them sometimes. Like, I'm not giving them away. I do take a little profit just for my time. But most of the time I don't sell them, yeah. They get torn apart and used in other videos, or they get, just here and there. It just depends, yeah. But I'm not like Zach or like these other guys or like Elijah where I've got 10 computers against the wall that I'm selling. It's not really a thing. I don't really have that, unfortunately. I don't have the room for it. Alfred asks, what's your favorite type of build? My favorite type of build? What do you mean, like money-wise? You mean like ITX, ATX? What exactly do you mean? Computer build? For a video, I like budget builds because I think they're interesting. Making a $200 computer is more difficult than making a $1,000 computer, for sure. And the cheap computer videos get more views, so I like that. That's fun. But the performance, the problem is that sometimes, just any build, what have you liked the most? Yeah. The problem is that there aren't a lot of options on the lower end. You know what I mean? And so, like, if I'm building a $200 computer, what are my options, right? And if I want to build a computer that is viable for someone to go out and repeat, right? Because I don't like to do like, I got a RTX 4090 for $100. No, my videos have to be obtainable online. That's just how I like to do it because I don't want people to feel like I got some super good deal that no one can replicate. Everything I do can be replicated. So, and there's not many options at that low price point. So the problem with making $200 computers is that they're pretty much always going to use the RX 588 gig. You know what I mean? Because there's no other graphics card that is obtainable at an average price that can compete with it for a $200 computer. Unless you cheap out on all the other parts, but those also have a low barrier to entry. Like there's a very low barrier. Like the cases are only gonna cost at a minimum $30. You can't go any lower than that. SSDs, what, am I gonna put a 128 gig in a computer? That's no way, you can't do that. Like people are gonna yell at you. So you have to start with at least 256 and even then people yell at you. What about RAM? I can't put 8 gigs of RAM in a computer, it has to be 16. So you know what I mean? So there's like a low floor. And so for the $200 one specifically, it's very hard because I don't want to just keep making computers with the same components, right? And that's why recently I had a video, I think it was a $600 build, and I used an RTX 4060 in it, which is not a very popular card. But I did that because it's not a popular card. And if you read all the comments, people are like, yeah, this sucks. I would have chosen the 3070. Well, me too, right? But how many 3070 at that price range videos have you seen? Dozens, right? Everyone's making that because that is probably the better choice for most people. So like I want to make computers that might not be 100% the best choice, but sometimes they do serve different purposes. Like sometimes people wanted the lower power draw. Sometimes they want the smaller card, like, you know what I mean? So it's not always going to be about which one's the best, most performative, which one looks the best. They serve different purposes within what the people need it for. And sometimes people in the comment section don't get that. They kind of get bogged down in the weeds where they just say, well, this is better. You wasted money because you did not get the best thing, which is not necessarily true, right? Think about like the t-shirts you're wearing. If there's a design on it, you wasted money. You should have just gotten the cheapest, most comfortable shirt you can with no design on it. You know what I mean? So like people have different needs and avenues they need to go for when they're building a computer. So it's really hard to do that in a video, especially at the lower cost, right? Or if I put a 580 in a computer, I've seen enough videos with an RX 580. You know what I mean? So right now I'm like waiting for graphics cards to get cheaper because I'm bored of the 580. You know what I mean? So I'd love to make more budget videos, but it's just hard because everything's so expensive. That's just how it is. That's why I love your videos, easily repeatable. Thanks, man. Honestly, very good take. Need variety between other people's content. Thank you. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I just don't want to see the same, everyone's making the same videos, right? Like, yes, the RTX 4060 is not an amazing card for the price, but somebody needs to make a video on it, right? Because there's going to be somebody out there who is considering it. A lot of people, it's one of the most popular cards in the world right now, and they're going to type in $600 4060 build. And I want to be that person who they can go and watch the video. Just because it's not necessarily the best for most people doesn't mean it's not necessarily a good video. It needs to be said, it needs to be shown out there. So that's just how it is, unfortunately. The 4060 is great as a budget AI machine. Is it? Very cool. Jonathan, yeah, one second, I'll read it, man. Sorry, I'm getting a little behind. Jonathan says, I brought the Mini Mic Pro, and it works until after a full night of charge. When I unplug it from the charger the next morning, it does not work at all, no matter what. That's interesting. Yeah, return it. Maybe, I guess it's broken. Whoa, Shane, super chat for $10. Oh man, thank you, man. Thank you so much. That's so nice. You guys don't have to donate money. I appreciate that. I really do. That's awesome. Thank you so much, man. Very cool. But don't feel like y'all are compelled to donate money. That's very, very, very nice of you, Shane. Thank you. I appreciate it. It'll go towards a good cause. That'll go towards feeding my cats the good cat food. Don't worry. I'll get them some, only the best. The $19 Mini Mic Pro that you see that has a black and red packaging. There's a lot of them then. Yeah. It might just be broken. Just return it. Yeah. There's so many of those OEM mini mics that, yeah, they're all OEM. So like they're all basically the same. If it's broken, just return it. Yeah. Let's see. The Duck, hold on, dude. I'll read your thing. Hold on. Is RTX 3060 for 210 good, and also is GTX 1080 for $90 good? I would say those are both the price that they're worth. I would say that's what they're worth if they're used. Of course they're used. A 3060 for about 200 to 210 is about what you're going to pay. That's just what they cost. So I wouldn't say that's an amazing deal. That's it. And a GTX 1080 for $9 is good. I'd say that's pretty good. I'd say on average they go for like 100. So yeah, I'd say those are pretty good. Or just good, like just normal. Yeah. It's hard to say what good is, you know what I mean? But worth it. Thank you again, Shane. You rock. Appreciate it, man. It's a waste if it doesn't say Big Deck Energy. Oh man. I was gonna wear the Big Deck Energy shirt today. I literally, as I was about to start the stream, I have it over there in the corner. And I was like, should I wear this on the stream? But I just decided not to because the room's pretty dark and the one I have is a black one. And so I needed a shirt that isn't completely black to kind of stand out amidst my dark room. Let's see, did I miss anything else? It's hard to keep up. I don't know how people stream and like keep up with everything. It's so difficult. Yo, big W's in the chat for Shane, for sure. Absolutely. That's going right towards my cats. So if y'all don't know, I actually have 7 cats. If y'all watch the videos, I'm sure you've seen a lot of them in the videos. They end up in the video somehow because they're always messing with my shots, and I feel compelled to put them in. But yeah, right now we have 7 cats, which is pretty nutty. And what's funny is that I think people assume when someone has 7 cats, their house smells like, like cat pee, right? Or like the house is always a mess, but I would say you own 1 or 2 cats is the same as owning like 7, because cats are pretty like to themselves. They kind of just hang out and do their own thing, and it's not like a big difference between having 2 and 7. Just more food and more litter boxes. You have to have more litter boxes littered around the house, but other than that, it's not that big a deal. I have 2 cats. Cats are so cool. They're the best. I agree, Doug. I agree. Alfred says, nah, the GTX 1080 is $90, and the UK GTX 1080 is equivalent to $150. Wow, really? Alfred, you live on an island. You live on an island, okay? It's hard. That's one problem I have too. I get a lot of comments like that, especially from people with places that have weird taxes or who have weird geopolitical issues where they're paying like more taxes on stuff, or imports, or the used market is horrible, or they live on an island, or it's hard. It's hard to do pricing because pricing is so different all over the world, and money transfers different, right? So like $1 here is $1.50 somewhere else, and like hourly wages, it's very hard to keep up. So yeah, I feel your pain, Alfred. I mean, I personally don't. I live in America, but I have to pay for healthcare. So maybe we'll call it even, okay? I'll get the cheap graphics card, you can have healthcare, and then maybe we'll even it out, if that sounds okay, all right? And that'll be fine. So we'll call it even, and that's just how it'll be. But you're right, it very much is like that, and that's something a lot of people forget. A lot of people love to forget that third world countries exist, like truly. If I see one more comment that's like, wow, I can't believe you just recommended an 8-year-old graphics card. Like, dude, like, sometimes you don't have a choice. And I know it's kind of like a meme at this point to say to check your privilege, but check your privilege. Like, most people in the world are not doing too great financially. It is not good. It's really tough out there. It really, really is. And so, especially in third world countries. So when I'm saying buy a 10-year-old graphics card, I'm not saying that that's the best idea. I'm saying you have no other choice. A lot of people don't have that choice. And if you're able to make that choice, count yourself lucky that you're able to, but a lot of people truly don't. And that graphics card or that computer could be the difference between them, learning how to code and eventually get a good job, or them not, right? So don't take it too seriously. Like, I get so many comments like that of these people who just have no idea of the world outside of their first world country, or even people inside first world countries who don't have a lot of money. Like, do they not deserve computers too? Like, come on. I understand. I would much rather have a brand new computer that costs $1,000, $2,000. Who wouldn't? But sometimes you just can't. And it could be temporary, it could be permanent, who knows? Alfred with the £1 chat, thank you, man. Again, y'all don't have to donate money. Keep your money. Go spend it on lollies. Thank you, Alfred. I appreciate it. I really do. That's super nice of you. Nerd on a budget. This guy. Don't talk to this guy. This guy is nothing but trouble. He goes, wow, I can't believe you recommended an 8-year-old graphics card. See what I mean? You see what I mean? These guys in here? Guys, I think we need to have a talk about Nerd on a budget. I'm actually in the middle of creating an expose on this man. His whole channel is based around saving money, and yet he is a liberal coastal elite who lives in a $12 million mansion. I've been inside. Drives around a Tesla Model S. He drives that Yaris as a joke. The Tesla's around the corner. It's all for show, guys. Do not trust this man. Bash him. Bash that man. Do not trust him. He pretends to play on an Intel machine. He plays on NVIDIA only. He has a 4090 in his room. Do not trust this man. America is just Big Island? Yeah, I guess. Not really. We're physically connected to Canada and Mexico. But like, physically not. He says, true, I'm rich AF. No, he does not have $1 million home and a Tesla. WTF? He just said it. Jonathan, he just said, true, I'm rich AF. He has a Honda and a home in Seattle. You're brainwashed. He has brainwashed all of you. He has tricked you. That's his second home. That he uses that home as a bathroom because his wife doesn't let him use the big story house next door as a bathroom. That second home that y'all think is his home, that's his bathroom. That's how rich he is. Nerd on a gold throne. His bathroom is worth probably more than all of our net worths combined. Don't even get me started on his third home. I didn't even know about the third home. Your wife's boyfriend doesn't let you use the house? Oh man. Danny, you are living the dream life, brother. Oh my goodness, wow. Respect. But in all seriousness, nerd on a budget, great guy. What's up, Danny? Your wife's ex? No, Jonathan, he did not say your wife's ex. He said his wife's boyfriend. Very different, very different. But me and Danny are actually going to do a stream together on this channel in the next coming weeks. We don't have it planned out yet, where we're going to be talking about YouTube and technology and our friendship and kind of just all of that, YouTube, TechTube and everything. And I want to end it in a 1v1 game of Halo probably, or the game of his choice. So it'll be kind of like, not a podcast, not an interview, just us hanging out together and do a little stream. And religion, politics, yeah, all of that. Basically asking like, what do you believe in and why do you think other religions are wrong and that kind of stuff. Child predators and social media, yeah, all of that. All of that. Nerd on a Budget does not have big deck energy. He doesn't, dude. All he does is eat soup. Have you ever seen this man eat a solid food? He always has a bowl of soup. What's your favorite game? It's hard to say. I play a lot of games. If I had to say my favorite game of all time, there would be a few games that are the most influential to me. They have been very influential to me. Something like Final Fantasy XI, which was the MMO one, was very influential to me as a teenager. I loved that game a lot. World of Warcraft, I played a lot of back in the day as well. Basically 2 MMOs were very influential on me. As of right now, what have I been playing? I have been playing a lot of The Finals. The Finals is a fantastic shooter that is kind of being ruined by their developers because they just don't have enough people or enough brains to make it good. So it's unfortunate because it's one of the only fast-paced shooters left out there, and it kind of takes up the Titanfall 2 reins for me, but it's getting more and more frustrating to play it, and they're losing player base fast. But it is very, very fun, truly a very fast-paced, free shooter game, so y'all should check it out. It is very fun, and it's a shame that it's kind of going downhill. I hope it gets revitalized, because The Finals is very fun. We need more fast shooters that aren't Call of Duty. Stop spitting lies about him. Thoughts on Temple OS Terry Davis? I'm unfamiliar with that whole situation. I think Temple OS, I would only know... What is Temple OS? I remember from a Linus video. But outside of that, I'm actually not informed. I stay out of the Linux world that much, outside of the Steam Deck, yeah. Yeah. I don't know too much on it. I'll look it up though, Shane. Tonight I'll look into it because I do want to. If that's important to y'all, I should know more about it. I like the thought of Linux. I like the idea of, well, I don't like the idea of Linux. I like the idea of a Windows competitor. You know what I mean? I would love more operating systems that aren't Linux, Mac, and Windows. So that'll be great. So if Temple OS is cool, but when you say thoughts on that, I'm worried there's a controversy that I'm not saying. Is Terry Davis some kind of PDF file or some kind of horrible person? Or is this a thoughts on them like they're doing good things? And do I think they're good? I don't know. It's all, you never know anymore, guys. Like, you never know. You're just worried. Nerd on a budget. But yeah, in a few weeks, me and Danny will be doing that. That should be pretty fun. We haven't planned it out yet, though, but I think that'll be pretty cool. And as I work more and more on the stream quality. But apparently this is good. Oh, let me unpin this. Danny said, I started playing Sword of Convaria. Never heard of it. Your boy has to get his JRPG pixel gotcha fix, you know? Epic Tactics style gameplay. Okay. Is that on the phone? You know, I never played Final Fantasy Tactics, Danny. but I have it queued up on my mobile handheld to play on the plane for my plane trip soon. So I'm actually going to play phone and Steam. I'm actually going to play Final Fantasy Tactics on the plane ride. So hopefully I can get a few hours into it and maybe I like it. He was schizophrenic, so I think his controversial side is forgivable. I see. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with him. I'll have to look it up. What's my favorite story in a game? That's interesting. Story. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge story person in a game. I have played a lot of single player games, and there are a lot of great stories out there to be told. But for me, gameplay comes first. So usually stories kind of go over my head. I will say recently, I played through Final Fantasy 16 last summer, and I thought that had a great story because it was very Game of Thronesy, and it felt less like anime, the power of friendship, blah, 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 like we usually get in all of these other Final Fantasy games. And it actually felt like this is pretty serious stuff, which I kind of liked. I think Undertale was a very interesting story. It was kind of nonsensical, cutesy, jokey, but I think it was pretty impactful to a lot of people. I saw people cry at that game. And I remember having a good time with it when I first played it. Other game stories, man, I can't think of anything. There's quite a bit of them. I really did, I don't want to say another Final Fantasy game. I play games other than Final Fantasy. I play tons of games. But the stories just kind of are just secondary to me. I'll always remember the gameplay, but the stories. Titanfall 2, I think the Titanfall 2 story the campaign was fantastic. It was super fun, and it had a touching and really cool storyline. I think that was great. Have I tried the PlayStation Story games or RDR2? I've played RDR2. I have not finished it. I should probably finish it, right? The PlayStation Story games, I played the God of War series. I played the original God of War series, and I played the 2018 one. I have not played Ragnarok. That one was pretty good. Those are good. The other story games, I played Spider-Man. I'm actually working through Horizon Zero Dawn now. What else was there? There's a ton of these games, man. Ghost of Tsushima, fantastic game. Yeah, so there are quite a bit of PlayStation Story games that are really fantastic. They do a pretty good job. Yeah, they have good stories too. GTA probably sticks out in my mind for stories I enjoyed the most. Really? It's just nothing, right? It's just bad guys do bad things to each other. Someone gets double crossed. End of story, right? Like it's like kind of. And those games are fun, but I didn't think they were super deep or anything. Ghost of Tsushima was good, but the fighting just got too repetitive. Yeah, I can see that. It's just a very beautiful game, but yeah, it did get repetitive. Any open world game gets repetitive, especially if you do too much of it. GTA, very enjoyable, yeah. Who's hyped for GTA 6? Oh, that's delicious. That's exactly what Daddy needed right now. Other story games, man, I can't think. GTA is my favorite game solely for enjoyment. Yeah, I think a lot of people see GTA as like a comfort game, for sure. What's up, Jason? Well, what's up to you, dude? Northern Lights, what's up? DBH was a good one. What is DBH? DBH. The Department of Behavioral Health? Yeah, dude. Diameter at breast height? Is that what you meant? Oh, Detroit Become Human. Got it. Yeah, I have not played that. But I did play the other one, Heavy Rain. And I thought that was pretty cool. Heavy Rain in 2006 or whenever it came out was legendary. Really amazing. Really pushed forward the idea of a narrative game. Really interesting, different layouts to it. I think they did a great job. Oh, Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 3, probably one of the best games of all time. Truly, like, has some of the best gameplay, has all the different levels of story you can create with it. Really just above and beyond of any game out there right now in terms of how many times you can play it and how many different ways you can affect the story in ways that you didn't even think was possible in a video game. It really changes kind of the gaming landscape. It was amazing. What is BG3 about? It's just a D&D game. It's hard to explain. Basically, it's based in the D&D world, and you and your compatriots get infected by some brain worm, and then you all go out on a quest to figure out how to remove it, and you find out it's controlling your brain, etc., etc. RuneScape, it's evolved in so many different ways. Interesting. Bro, Power World, top of the line storytelling. What is the story in Power World? Is there a story in Power World? I'm unaware if there's a story in Power World. I played a little bit of it. I played it with you. But it's good to talk games with you all because I feel like the tech space, especially the gaming computer tech space on YouTube, talks a lot about hardware, but not enough about playing games. So many people spend hours working on their computer, but not enough times playing games. So I love when people actually play games on their computers. Don't get stuck in that trap, guys. Don't think, oh, I'll get a 1% increase if I spend $200. Take those $200 and buy a bunch of games instead, and you will have way more fun. Did I quit RDR2 from boredom or just forgot? Just forgot. I will say that the start of RDR2 is very slow. There's too much talking. And I finally got past it, and then I did some of the early stuff, and then I got busy, and I forgot to go back to it. So it is still on my list. It's just a little slow, I think, but I know it's a good game. I'm not going to sit here and deny it's a good game. I just need to get back to it. Unfortunately, no one cares about tech content creators playing games. If they make content on it or stream it, it flops. I agree. I know. The first chapter was a snooze fest. Yeah, true. That Seago Type PS2 is hard to beat right now. Yeah, it's a good price. For 650 watts, it's very good. Yeah, and you know, Danny, the Toasty Bros, half of their videos every week, or not every week, every day, because they make a video every day, half of the video is just them playing Fortnite. They have made an amazing career based on 5-minute Fortnite gameplay loops every single day. So that's amazing that they've somehow found a way to sneak in Fortnite gameplay into all of their videos, and they just sit there and play it. 5 minutes of a video will be Matt and Jackson just playing Fortnite. Like, pretty amazing how they do it in every single video. Like, they just play Fortnite, like, just in the middle of the day. Pretty cool. I need to do more of that. Okay. Oh wow, it's been 30 minutes. Should we start? Man, y'all are distracting me. Should we get started on this computer? Because I want to finish before an hour and a half. So here, I'm going to show y'all. We're going to get started on the computer. I'm going to move this over here for the wide shot. Whoop. Right there. Whoop. Right there. Whoop. Wide shot. Let's do it, Mr. C&D. Good to see you, man. Will this work? Huzzah. We've done it. We are relocating. Boop, 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 boop. Let me hide my chair. Let me pull this up. Get my drink. Oh, it's very dark over here. Hold on. I got y'all. I think I need to pull the light closer to me because it is very dark over here. Very dark. So y'all can see my giant light. Ugh. Oh no, it's stuck. All right. Now we should be good. But now the giant light's in the shot. That's okay. Let me pull it back a little bit. A little bit. All right. We're good. I mean, this doesn't matter. My face doesn't matter. This is what matters right here. this is what we got going. Let me pull up y'all's comments. Give me 1 second. Refresh. Nice. Okay, I got y'all. Renato, what's up, dude? Linus needs to give you a cut for the advertising. True. Is that a Surface laptop I'm seeing in the right? Of sorts, Jonathan, of sorts. Okay, so. Sorry, I'm so far over here. This is how we got to do it. So my good camera's here. We are building a computer today for my uncle, okay? My uncle, I explained this at the start of the show, but if you weren't here, my uncle is a man in his mid-50s, and he used to shoot weddings and quinceañeras and stuff of that sort. And he stopped doing it for a while, and now he wants to kind of get back into it. And so he said he needs a computer, and he said he wants to spend $800 on it. And I said, if you go to the store and you spend $800, you're gonna get ripped off because I did not trust Best Buy. I said, I'll do it for $600. But we'll see. But also, we're playing fast and loose with the budget. So if this was a real video, the budget would be set in stone. But this, I did the math. I think it's like 650-ish. So it's like 600, 700. And a lot of this stuff is maybe not too easy to replicate, but just go with me, okay, guys? What's the strap for on the bill of your hat? That's called, this is something you've actually never seen, Danny. This is called fashion. Now, I know that might be new to you. It's called fashion. Wow, my hat is really dirty. I need to wash it. This strap is it's the strap for my strap on next time I meet you, bro. Okay. Saw you on the recent Nerd on a Budget video. Oh yeah, I was in that video. Yes. Guys, if you want to go see me in the most recent Nerd on a Budget video, he put out a hour-and-a-half vlog of our time at LTX 2023. It was a really fun time, really great video. Danny did a great job of editing it so that, oh snap, he's here. He did a great job of editing it so that it's cohesive and very fun. So go check out that video on Nerd on a Budget's channel. I'm in it, a lot of it. It's very fun. And even the parts that I'm on, it just shows Danny walking around talking to people and just different things that happened. It was a great time. So yes, building a computer for my uncle. I knew it was this is a video editing computer, okay? And so we don't need gaming graphics, technically. But I knew I wanted to at least include a graphics card just for the encoding stuff, and because he has enough money that we could do it. So I have two options. I need to talk to him later and figure out what we would do, but for this video today, I'll ask you guys what we want to do. But to start off, I got this motherboard that I might get yelled at for. Hold on. Why is it so bright? It's a very shiny, come on. Let's see. Come on, there we go. So this is the H610MG with Wi-Fi DDR4. I'm gonna move the light over a little bit more. It's a little too bright. So here's what happened. Normally in a gaming machine, that is so bright still. Oh, it's because this light's on. Hold on, I can fix that, guys, hold on. There we go. Normally in a gaming machine, I would not recommend an H610. I just wouldn't. I think it has weak VRMs. I think it does not support enough, does not have 4.0. It's just whatever. I explained that to my uncle. I really did. Now I'm too dark. I explained that to him, and he seemingly did not care. He seemed to say, I don't care. I'm not going to game on it. That's fine. I'm just going to video edit on it. And I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're not going to game on this. You are just going to edit videos on this. So get it out of your mind that this is bad. While something more expensive would be better, I told him the price difference, and I explained the pros and the cons. And he truly still wanted to stick with the H610. And I think it's fine. He's not video editing, or no, sorry, he's not gaming at all. He will not be gaming on this machine ever. It's purely to video edit. And if you want to say, oh, well, what if he wants to upgrade the CPU? This man is in his 50s. he does not know what a CPU is. So he will not be upgrading it, okay? When he's ready for a new computer, he will sell this one and get a new one. So don't worry too much about it. While we're working with this one, it'll be fine. If this was a gaming machine, I do not recommend the H610, but for this, I think we should be good. Renato says, your recent $600 build, like no one can beat the price performance, dead serious. Thanks, man, I appreciate that. I would say the only way to beat the price performance on that is to get a 3070 instead. But then, I don't know, I like the 4060, I kind of like it. But thanks, man, I appreciate that. Limits the PCI, so doesn't it? It sure does. Okay, boomer. Very true. So yes, it does. So this, my uncle is not, it doesn't matter, right? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. He does not care about that. And I explained that to him, that this only has 3.0 speeds, and he's like, that's fine. So it is what it is. He liked that it had Wi-Fi, and he liked the low price, and we got a pretty good deal on it. So, and the more I think about it, the more I do think it's okay. I'm not too upset about it. But again, if this was gaming, or if he was gonna plug in a bunch of stuff or needed more PCIe lanes, yeah, I would not recommend this board. But for this, what we're doing today, it's kind of perfect knowing him, because he will never upgrade it. And that's just the way it is, guys. This looked perfect before I started streaming. Now it's like so blown out. This was like absolutely perfect before. I'm very annoyed. Oh well, we're having fun. We're hanging out. So yeah, H610, it's okay. It's fines. I think we could do better, but you know, what are you gonna do? Isn't that the motherboards don't matter in terms of gaming performance? I do not think it's going to be a difference between a B660 and H610 besides the features that you do not get on the 610. For the right price, everything has its place, says Pinky Tech. What's up, Pinky Tech? You're right, Jonathan. So most of the time, the H610 will have very, very similar performance to a fancier board. In lower range CPU. Yes, that is very true. The biggest problem is that the cooling on this is so bad that some of the higher clock CPUs, if they get going, have a chance to hurt the performance of the gaming. I would say it's very low chance, but that is kind of what people are most worried about. It's mostly the VRM cooling. But people blow it out of proportion. H610 is not going to blow up your house. It's not a waste of sand. It's just cheap, right? And so it was a good price. Right. Yeah, there is no cooling. I know. I mean the, not cooling, the heat sinks. There's basically nothing. Trust me, I know. The customer is not always right, but they are the customer. That is exactly right, Renato. That's just how it is. So it's fine. But this one has Wi-Fi, which I know for a fact he's going to want Wi-Fi. So more power to him. But we only have 2 RAM slots. So, and he's going to be video editing. So I thought, you know what? This, let's see, can I get a focus? This gentleman needs more than 16 gigs. He needs 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM. Clock speed doesn't really matter, but I think these are, this is not the right RAM. This is DDR5 RAM. This is a DDR4 board. That is not good. How did that happen? Hold on. Hold on. Okay, ignore what I said. Yeah, we need 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM, and this is 32 gigs from Oloy. This is DDR4. I found it in my magical box of RAM back there. This is DDR4, 32 gigs, clocked at 3200 megahertz. The speed does not really matter too much, again, because he's video editing. Where's my knife? I had a knife here earlier. And, but 32 gigs for a gaming machine, or for a video editing machine, is great. It's going to help him a lot with video editing. It's going to help him a lot if he's doing Photoshop, which I know he's going to do some of that as well. So this is mostly a content creation PC, and the 32 gigs will help him out a lot. It's interesting the choices you have to make when you're making a PC for different reasons, huh? Like, it's weird that the computers look very similar, but very, very small things that go a long way, right? Like, yeah, much better. Now it's compatible. Yeah, I know. That is much better. You're right. It's, you know, personally, I prefer my RAM when it's compatible, but that might just be me. And luckily, we only have 2 RAM slots here, so we'll use them. Up, 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 up. Up, up, up. Line up your RAM, click it in. We got 2 clicks. 32 gigs, DDR4 RAM, 3200 mega transfer per second. Good to go. Okay. Something I always see that I don't understand is why cheap cases have features only able to be plugged into high-end motherboards. The goal, Alfred, is that those cheap cases, they are hoping that people use high-end motherboards in them to bring up the price of the case, if that makes sense. So if it's a $60 case and someone puts very expensive components in it, it makes the case look more expensive. So they do that to try to give you more stuff and hoping that people would put better components in it. And then they're gonna jack up the price whenever it gets popular enough, right? So I agree. I mean, it's always nice to have more features though, right? It's not like, it's not a bad thing. What's wrong with more features? You know what I mean? But I know what you're saying. At least you don't have to worry about populating the wrong slots. Very true, dude. Pinky Tech knows exactly what's up, dude. So 2 slots, that's all we got. So we're doing good. So for storage, my uncle, I asked him specifically, how much storage do you need? He said he was gonna put all his files on an external drive. I yelled at him. I gave him a good lashing. I told him, you can't just put all your wedding photos and wedding videos on an external hard drive you bought in 2010. That is how you will fail. We had a long conversation about data backup and what he really should do. So what we agreed on is that he's gonna have a large internal drive, keep stuff on it as long as he can, and if it gets near full, he will then back it up to the external drive and then figure out something from there. But for the meantime, while he's working on it and slightly after he's working with the customer, he will keep it on the computer at the very least. So at least we got him to agree to that. Okay, Boomer, it's very true. I'm telling you, every step of the way I had to fight this guy. It's just how it had to work. 0.5 millimeter of space for cable management on a cheap case, but has USB-C connection. Yeah, that's always weird, isn't it? So I got this online. Let's see if it'll focus. Oh, it's very bright. This is the P41 Plus from Solidigm. This is 2 terabytes. So this is a 2 terabyte drive, way more than he needs, but he is gonna be working in 4K footage, and 4K footage, not the end of the world, but he's shooting weddings, right? Those are like 2, 3, 4 hours. You're gonna be working 4 hours of 4K footage. It will add up very quickly. So yeah, I told him, like, you're probably gonna have to expand this later, but for now, it'll be just fine. You'll be good. So hopefully, maybe eventually he will add up to it, but for now, this will do. And he always has that external drive, and we'll talk about it more later, but for now, 2 terabytes going in. Uh-oh, we need the, what is that called? Quick, what's this called? Oh my gosh. I have brain fog, guys. What's that called? When you screw in the riser? No. We need that. We need that. Wait, 2? Oh, wow, this comes with long and short. Pretty cool. So he's gonna have long. The IO shield. Quick, standoff. Yes, thank you, Alfred. My God, I got a big brain part there. Yes, we need the standoff for the SSD. And we should be good to go. Da, da, na, na. It's almost 2 a.m. Good night. Alfred, have a great night, man. Thanks for watching. Tell him CPU is central potato unit. I could have told him anything. I'm just glad that wait, I need that box. I'm glad that he didn't go to Walmart and buy a computer there, because man, he would have gotten a very bad deal. How does it go? Let's just screw in right here. So I'm hoping he uses this well. How does this work? Does this unscrew? How does this work? Oh. This is actually, it's pretty funny. This is the Pro H610, so it's got all these weird, nice features. Like it's got a long Wi-Fi bracket and like a short one, so no matter what you're using, it's got a fancy standoff for the SSD. It's just funny because H610 is kind of the extreme budget boards, but this one is a little bit fancy. How does this work? Nice. Okay. We have our storage. Ooh, it's nice and bright. I love that. I love when things are bright. So, Kush says the H series Intel boards are criminally underrated for budget builds. Yeah, I think people get mad too quickly about the H610 or the like you said, the H boards. I don't think they're obviously not as good as the other ones, but I don't think they're as bad as people like to pretend they are. I think people like to act like they are horrible. It's a fully loaded Kia Forte. Very true, dude. That's like a good way of describing it. Because yeah, it is kind of fully loaded. Okay, we need a CPU. So, CPU, we could not go with a cheapest option, even though that's what he wanted, because this is a video editing machine. And if you know anything about video editing, you know that you're gonna want to use QuickSync. And QuickSync is a protocol that is only available on Intel CPUs, and specifically, you need integrated graphics on the Intel CPU for them to be activated. So if you get something like a 12100F, or 12400F, or 12600KF, anything with the F does not have it for video editing. So we just got a standard, focus, 12400 for this build. And so the i5 12400 is like the second best, or sorry, the second worst, I suppose, technically, after the 12100. But this is an i5, and I believe it's 6 cores, 12 threads, if I remember correctly. And so I wanted to give him a little bit more than the basics. Even though he tried to fight me on this, he really wanted the cheapest one. He saw the 12100F, and I had to explain to him why we're not going to buy that. And I said, you're going to want a few more cores when you're doing a bunch of stuff, because knowing him, he's not going to be closing his Chrome tabs. So I'm like, please get some good multi-cores, get a little bit more performance. I know you're not gaming on this, but you're going to want something a little bit more. Because I guarantee when you're editing 4K footage and it starts to slow down, he is going to go out and buy a whole brand new computer. And so this PC is to try and stop that. How do I open this? This was purchased from Amazon resale, so it's like really taped up. Just use a 14900K? Well, I don't want it to explode, Pinky. Kush says, like for a 12400, 12100 budget build, you're saving like 30 to 50 compared to a B660. Might not seem like a lot, but on a lower budget, that could be the difference between 500 and 550. Exactly, right? And that's kind of why people don't like to recommend it, because they assume $50 is nothing. It's not nothing. $50 is not nothing. It might be nothing to you. Not you, Kush. I mean, the person who says that. But it's not nothing to anyone. So it could be necessary. It's fine. Nerd on Budget says, people who don't appreciate lower tier boards don't realize that there's probably so much in their life they are also buying lower tier or budget oriented products. Yeah, very true. Use a hammer, get right through that tape. No way. Although I am that guy who rips apart boxes. I'm only doing this because I'm on camera. Otherwise, this box would be shreds. Okay, there we go. Can I get that? Where's my 12400? Get out here. Someone scam me? No, we're good. That's always my biggest concern, that when I buy from Amazon resale, because one time I bought a, what did I buy? I bought a 13700K to put into someone's build, and Amazon delivered me a 12700K. And I was so worried they weren't going to accept the return. Like they thought maybe I was the one who was scamming them, but they accepted it and I was kind of scared. Can we get a focus? Wow, it's nothing. There we go. So yes, we got the 12400, 6 core, 12 thread, great for video editing. Quick sync, he is going to be scrubbing that timeline like nobody's business because we don't have an F-SKU. And these are the things you can't explain to people. Like if you went to Costco or if you went to Walmart, you think the employees there know that a video editor shouldn't get the F-SKU? You think they know what a video editor means? No, they're just going to pick the one that's the most expensive or fits in their budget just because computers are computers, right? Like, and that's just how it is. And that's why I wanted to help him out because I don't like seeing older people getting taken advantage of. Like Danny, me and Danny, I had to take him and escort him to Walmart to buy his computer because I didn't want them, you know, he's old, right? Like he's, install that, take this off. I got DDR3 once instead of DDR4 for OpenBox. Oh, that stinks. That's actually worse than mine. That's a whole different generation because at least the 12700K would have worked. Kush says, genuinely, my HTPC Plex machine uses a lower tier H510 with an i5 10400F and it works absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's that simple. It's fine. People overthink it. They listen too much to Gamers Nexus and Hardware Unboxed, and they use terms like waste of sand and flop or whatever, and confirmed I saw Jason help Danny cross the road. He needs all the help, especially with that foot, dude. Danny, please give us an update on your foot. Did you get an MRI on it? Are they gonna chop it off yet? I hope not. But give us an update, man. Hope you are doing well. So for the cooler though, I just went with the standard one. He's not gaming. This is fine. Is that enough paste? So it comes with 3 little strips. Is that enough? That does not seem like enough. I feel like I should add more. Is that just me? I'll try with just that. And I mean, I'm gonna fully benchmark and test this before I give it to him. And so if I see any issues with cooling, I'll do it again later, but I think it should be fine. It is enough. It doesn't look like enough, but it does spread, don't worry. Okay. You had the bone biopsy surgery? I didn't know that. You have an appointment tomorrow to hopefully see if they found anything new. I didn't know you had the bone biopsy yet. Well, good to know. Hopefully they found it. So you're saying this is enough, Kush? Okay, man. I am trusting you. Let's plug this bad boy in. Well, hope you get better, Danny, dude. Hope that foot cures soon. Okay, so these Intel coolers, I hate installing these. Sometimes these are so simple to install, and then other times I have the biggest trouble. So I push and twist, right? Or do I twist and push? Oh, I got a click. Let's do opposite side. Got a click? Got a click? No. See, it's because they were already messing with this. Click? Where's my click? No. No, 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 no. Come on. Give me that click. Click? That was a click. All right, look at that. So that's how you know it's good, when you can do that. Okay. That is good enough. That will be great for him. I built my PC with a 12400. Nice, dude. That's what we're using now. Well, that amount is around equivalent to using a normal piece size square paste once it's fully spread. Okay, cool. I do 2 opposite corners at a time. Usually goes better for me. Yeah, like this. Yeah, I should do that too. I feel like half the time this is like, boom, boom. Wow, that was super simple. And then other times I'm like fiddling with like the up and down and like it doesn't work. This was pretty simple. There are some times when it's not so simple. It's definitely user error. I'm not blaming the cooler. Let's reveal this PCIe port. Nice. Okay, so we're done with the motherboard, but let's talk graphics card real quick. So we have 2 options. And I know what y'all are gonna say, but hear me out. So the first option we have is this RTX 3060. And look, it's still in the plastic, guys. This is literally brand new. So we have this RTX 3060, which is the better of the two. Don't get me wrong. This is the better graphics card, not only for gaming, but for video editing. And you know why? This has 12 gigs of VRAM, so that'll help him out. This has NVENC encoder, which is fantastic for video editing. And it's NVIDIA, so you know it's just better overall. Sorry, AMD. All right. Alternatively, we have the RX 6600, which is only 8 gigs of VRAM, but it's $100 cheaper than the 3060. Okay. Now again, this my uncle. Don't blame me. I'm just the messenger. My uncle prefers this because it's cheaper. Is the 3060 better for video editing? Yes, absolutely. It truly, truly is. But my uncle, I explained to him how these work. Most of the work when video editing is done on the CPU. Even if you have both quick sync and hardware acceleration or GPU acceleration turned on, most of the work is done through the CPU because quick sync is that good. This is mostly for rendering. So, and I don't think he's gonna be using After Effects, but basically rendering anything like After Effects, any effects like that, that'll be done through here, but most of the work will be done through the CPU. So while I think the 3060 obviously is the better card for gaming and for video editing especially, truly, he will not see a difference between the 6600. Would you? Probably. Would my uncle? Probably not. I don't think he would tell a difference. And when I told him there was a $100 price difference, you know him, he wanted this one. So I want to hear what y'all have to say though. Would you pay $100 extra for this? Now I understand you can get this used and cheaper. I understand that as well. If this was my machine, I would be going with the 3060 because I think this is a great card. But let me see what y'all are saying. Ideally, you'd want max stability, so NVIDIA should be ideal. Agreed. No questions asked, I would go NVIDIA. Drivers are more stable, although AMD is bad. And it does have NVENC for any encoding, which is nice. Very true. Is it okay to go with 4060 with 550 watt? Yes, Battlefield Soldier, that's totally fine. It's actually great. Yeah, if the other option doesn't have NVENC, then 100% NVIDIA for an editing build. Yep. From someone who has edited with both, the 3060 12 was better for me when I added effects and color corrected. Yes. That was with DaVinci. That is a very good point, Pinky. Thank you for bringing that up. DaVinci is very heavy on the GPU. Very, very heavy. That's very good. Thank you for bringing that up. With DaVinci, I would say if my uncle was using DaVinci, I would absolutely say 3060, don't even consider the 6600. He is using Premiere Pro, okay? And as someone who has used Premiere Pro and DaVinci, I would say, yes, this is better overall. If you're going DaVinci, get this, don't even think about it. If you're going Premiere Pro, and for what he's doing, maybe save the $100. I don't know, like, QuickSync's very good. Like, I've monitored how much usage you're using when you're editing. Only during like After Effects and rendering a video do you ever really use most of this. This stays at like 5 to 10% during video editing. The CPU is doing all the work because QuickSync is that good. And that's if you have both of them on, of course. So, I don't know. Obviously this is better, but for $100, that's a lot of money. I don't know how ARC is for video editing, but the A750 has AV1, which might be useful. Yes, I agree. I don't think my uncle knows what AV1 is. So, we'll be good. If I was doing it as a job, it would be NVIDIA or Intel. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I don't think he knows what AV1 is. So while I tried to convince him for the 3060, ultimately he went with the 6600. And yes, the 3060 would be better, guys. If this was me, I would use it. If you're building a video editing PC and you're choosing between these two, pick the 3060. But if you have a 6600, it's going to be fine as long as you're using Premiere Pro. If you're using DaVinci, definitely pick one of these up. These are used for like 200 these days. Totally worth it. Great card. Still great to this day. Truly great. But for his build, he wanted the RX 6600, which is great for what he's going to be doing with it, and it's lower power, only 8-pin. This was a used one we got for pretty cheap. I think this was like $110, 120, I think. No, 120. Yeah, we got this for 120. So that's going to go in, and he was happy about the price, obviously. And you know, I told him, if down the line in like 6 months, if you feel like anything's slowing down, tell me about it. We can correct it, right? So if in a few months he goes, hey, I think I need a new graphics card, rendering is too slow, and I'm using a lot of After Effects, and it's not. I'll go, okay, give me this back, and just pay the difference on a 3060 or something, or maybe a 4060 or something. I don't know. So luckily, this is my uncle, and you have to remember, he's not tied to this forever. If he wants to change it, just come talk to me, and me and him could figure it out. So, but if he was just building this on his own, or he was buying it, yeah, I would tell him, maybe don't do that. So, okay. So, but we can't put that in just yet. The case. No, but let's talk about the power supply first. Power supply, we don't need anything crazy. Thigotep, 650 watt. Even this is overkill. I think he would have been fine with a 400 watt. These are only 50 bucks. I feel like that's a great price for a reliable C-tier PSU. I think it's pretty good. I think 650 watt, more than enough. If he wants to plug in a bunch of hard drives, more than enough. He'll never have issues. He'll never max this out. Perfectly fine. This is gold rated, pretty power efficient. I think it's C tier on the PSU list. He'll be just fine. Nothing to worry about. He did not fight me on this. He understood the difference, because the only difference is what? Saving 10 bucks? At this price range, like the $600 price range, don't save $10, guys. It's just $10. Save 50. But for $10, if it's between this and like the 500 watt white thermal take, which is not a bad PSU, but for only $10, if you are at this price range, I would say, yeah, go ahead and pay the $10. This is way more power efficient. It's just better overall. It looks better. It doesn't have ketchup and mustard cables. I would say just do it. So he did not fight me on that. So that's good. How do you know it's C tier? It's not on the PSU tier list. Is this not? Maybe I have it confused. I believe you. I thought for sure in my mind this was on the C tier. Is it not? How do I open this? Maybe that's just in my head. Maybe I made that up. Okay. I thought for sure it was a C tier. Maybe it's in my head. Either way, I've used it a few times. I've had no problems with it. And I'm not one of those people who think PSUs are going to explode. And he is not going to he's not going to be gaming on this or limiting it, getting anywhere close to that max limit. So it's not going to be damaging anything. This will probably last in his computer for 15 years. No problem. Oh, it's a speculative C tier? I see. The entire chat regards your uncle as Palpatine for not listening to your recommendation. He did. He did listen sometimes, I will say. Ultimately, I'm building the computer, Renato. So if he didn't listen to me, he would be at Walmart buying a crappy computer. So you know what made him want to go with me is that I told him I could build him an $800 computer for $600, right? Because I'm not going to take profit on it, whereas Walmart would. And they're going to cheap out on parts. And even building an H610, this is still better than some crappy OEM board from Walmart. So you win some, you lose some. He's not Palpatine. He did take a lot of my recommendations, but ultimately it's his money, and it's still going to be a good PC for video editing. And we'll see what we need to do. Oh, I need to hide this in there. Matt Miller PCs. What's up, dude? How dare you go live when I need to working? What's up, Matt? Good to see you, man. You're working now? You working your main job, your day job, or are you working like content working? Yeah, I don't really plan out these. I just kind of go live. It's just how it works, guys. I'm sorry. I don't like to go live without something to do. I can't sit here and just gab for 2 hours. I don't have enough to say. So I need something to do with my hands. So it just happens randomly. And I try to go at dinner time so people have enough time to eat dinner and then come here and we can hang out. But yeah, there's the Seagotep. I'm happy with it. It'll be good. 650 watt, 50 bucks. I think that's a good price. Ooh, that's a good shot right there, huh? Cool. B tier, wow. Amazing. I don't know if it's B tier. Nah, side hustle. All right, dude, that's what's up. The Matt Miller side hustle game. That is what is up, dude. What is the best fast food sandwich place? Guys, quick. What's the best fast food sandwich place? Not Subway. My God. My God. Do not say Subway. Subway is good if you have the buy one, get one. Because for the price, you're getting half price. But otherwise, I would never go to Subway. If we're going sub, let's say sub sandwich, I don't often buy sandwiches. If I had to choose one, I do really like Jimmy John's, and I like the variety of toppings at Which Wich. I think those are cool. Jersey Mike's makes a really good hot sub, I think. But again, I don't get it very often. So it's pretty rare. My wife doesn't really like them, so we don't get them that often. Or you can go the Matt Miller approach. I don't pay for sandwiches, I make them at home, which is something a lot of people do. They think it's not worth it to go out and buy a sandwich because you can just, all the ingredients you can just buy. It's not like cooking a steak where it takes skill, right? So I can understand that too, no problem. Steak and Shake garlic burger, ooh. Publix, okay. Steak and Shake, I have not been to Steak and Shake in a long time either. Is that place good? It's been a while. Okay, the case. I gotta open the case. The case is still in its box, actually. This one he did not fight me on. All I asked him, I said, hey, do you want RGB or nah? And he goes, does it cost more? And I said, not really. And he said, okay, RGB it is. I like them. So I wanted to get him a good, reliable case, something that would fit him good. It's still in the box. This is the Fractal Pop Mini Air computer case. And if you, does this have my address on it? Nope, we're good. If you are familiar with Fractal, they are a fantastic computer case company. Make some really, really quality stuff. Love everything they do. I think they are a great company. I love their cases. They're so easy to build in, good quality. And this is only, when this goes on sale, which is often, this is only $60 from B&H. And it is an MATX case. It comes with 3 RGB fans, solid construction. Fractal will do you no wrong. Has everything you need. I don't know, I love it. I think it's awesome. Let's get this bad boy open. And I don't know where my knife is, so we're going with a screwdriver. Don't tell Linus. Okay. But don't worry, I'll shake the entire table when I do it. I know you guys like that. Here we go. Bum, 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 bum. Here we go. Just pop it out. Come on. This is how I open PC cases, guys. It's very secure. Am I shaking my mic? Accidental docks? No. I tore it off already. The problem is that sometimes they put multiple stickers on. Like, there we go. Ooh, it's a lot of static shock. Am I gonna shock myself? I can already feel it. Here it comes. I gotta ground myself, guys. Where's the plug? Here we go. Am I gonna shock myself? This is my least favorite part. I always shock myself on cases. No, because I will take off the main one and then they just put on a bunch more. Very frustrating. So I have to inspect it. But it's not a big deal. Let me get this out of the box real quick. Probably should have done this beforehand, huh? All right. We are Gucci Mane. This is a great case. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Let's look at the front. It has this nice little cool design. I don't know if it's picking up on camera too well. Looks like fish skin. See that design? This is all airflow though. And this comes off. Whoa, I forgot about that. At the bottom of this one, this gets covered, but this comes off pretty easily. And there is like a little drawer. So he can put all his little flash drives and stuff here. That's cool. That's actually perfect for him. So if he has any flash drives or, I don't know, vape pens, I don't know what y'all put in there. Pretty good. That is a nice touch. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. Y'all can get the whole spectrum now. And it's just off kilter. Right there. Okay. Travel with BK is building their first PC tomorrow. Very cool. Congratulations. That is big hype. Oh, does this have tape on it still? Come on. You never forget your first, BK, because you can have it your way. Come on. This tape is so strong. Watch me scratch the glass. Oh, almost just did. Okay, got that off. What's up, Jonathan? Welcome back. Good to see you. And we have removable fan filters. It's a pretty standard case, but I think it's great. I love the build construction on it. And for the price, I think you can't beat it. Let me take off this back one because we're going to be building in it. So let me get it ready for operation. Okay, a little bit too secure. This is going to be a banging video editing PC, and he'll have, if he wants to buy some hard drives, like internal ones, for footage, he certainly could. I'll help him find some good ones for a good price. Okay, I'm going to need this. Let me dump all my screws in here. Cool. Okay, drink break. You guys don't know it, but it's 90 degrees in this room. It's horrible. Very hot. Let's see. Nerd on a Budget says, even Stegotep GN seems to be the non-modular versus the GM, which is the fully modular version, and is in the speculative B tier position, assuming the internals are the same, and that's a really good price. Even if it were knocked down to T or C, still $50 for 60 watts, hard to beat. I agree. I agree. But I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's not that big a deal. You guys are talking too much about that. I mean, like, don't worry too much about it. It's not gonna, like, people, you can talk about PSU tier lists all day. Ultimately, it's not that big a deal. Don't freak out about it. AC, Mr. C&D, I do have AC. This room is upstairs in the corner, and it actually has very poor insulation because there's an attic right behind it. So this room specifically gets very hot, and it takes a long time to cool down. And I have the door closed. So right now we're just circulating my heat, the computer, all this stuff is just circulating heat. I have a portable AC system in here. It's too loud to run during the broadcast. And even then it doesn't work too well. It is just hot, so I'm just sweating. So it's fine during the winter and the spring and the fall, but during the 3 months of summer, it gets about 100 degrees in here, or about 40 C for the international people. It's just how it is. It's okay though. Yo, Nerd on a Budget is a goat. Matt, I saw you wearing the Nerd on a Budget shirt in your video the other day. Pretty nice. Baby Lion asked, do you ever plan on adding channel memberships? I've thought about it, and I have done it for a little bit in the past. It's a lot of work. I even had a Patreon for a little while. I just don't feel like I add enough value to make it worth your money, right? And it's hard enough for me to make these videos and to do live streams just because I'm very slow. And so I might add a channel membership that basically says, thank you for the support, and that's it. I'll throw in names at the end of videos, but as of right now, I don't have time to do anything more, right? And I want to keep these live streams free and open for everyone, so I don't want to do any like private live streams. So I might activate them and just say, thanks for the support. I'll put your name in the video and that's about it. But we'll see. Yeah, I bought all 3 colors. Wow. That's awesome. Bro, didn't you know PSG tier list over everything? Do you want Die and Fire? Yes, true. Buck Rogers, what up? It's not gonna go boom. Rob, what up, Rob? Good to talk to you, dude. Haven't seen you in a minute. Okay, we gotta speed this along. We're gonna speed run it. We need to. That's a very darkened. Let's turn it up a little bit. Give you all some light. Yeah, I don't know. People obsess over the little things too much, guys. Just build your computers and play your games. It's fine. You'll be fine. Do I get the 5600 or the 5700? Guys, it's fine. You're gonna play games either way. Don't worry too much about it. Just buy whatever's in your budget. Call it a day. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Where's my motherboard? Am I going crazy? Oh, here it is. Okay. We need to make sure the standoffs match up. They generally do. Yep. That looks good. That looks good. We're good. You're golden, pony boy. Match that bad boy up. Push it in. I think we're good. That's wrong. This is it. I should do a video on a cheap PC VR capable computer. Been seeing quite a large gap in that kind of content. Yes, Baby Lion. There is a gap in that content because it is incredibly niche. Incredibly niche. Most people doing VR, I think they are doing it on their device. And I think there are a lot of great VR content creators. I think they can do it better than me. Way better than me. So thank you for the suggestion, but I probably won't do anything like that. The best I can do is mention VR in any future builds. And like I'll try to say, this one will run VR, this one won't run VR. But there are a lot of really great VR content creators out there. And I would suggest you tell them to do it because they're gonna do it way better than I ever could. I accidentally bought a 3-pin CPU fan cooler. Will it work still? Yes, it will. It will work. It'll just run at full speed the entire time. And so if you are okay with having this running at full speed 24/7, that's fine. It'll work. It'll just be a little louder. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, but it'll use a little bit more power. It'll be a little louder. The fan might wear down after 7 years instead of 8 years or whatever, you know what I mean? So yeah, it'll still work. Okay, I can deal with that. Yeah, no problem, dude. That's why we're here. We are all here to help each other out, answer some questions, build a video editing computer, tell Nerd on a Budget that he's rich, tell Matt Miller that if he ever questions the Steam Deck again, that I will expose him, make a 2-hour-long video about why he's wrong. Because that seems to be the trend lately. That's in. Oh, is that all of them? Is this a built-in one? Oh yeah, okay. Fractal already has a built-in one, cool. So we're good there. Okay. So what do I need to do next? I got my motherboard in here. I like to plug in the motherboard stuff, or the front. Dang, I'm so lost, guys. I need to plug in the front panel stuff as well as the motherboard stuff. Okay, so yes, let's grab this front stuff and put it through. Where does this go? This can go here. Oh, y'all can't see that. I'm just plugging in the USB 3.0 header. This is for the front. And then this is the HD audio. So this is for the audio in the front. I never used the front one, but knowing my uncle, you probably will, right? Oh, it's very low. Can I plug this in? Oh, it's so close to the bottom. Here we go. Here we go. Get in there, get in there. Come on. We're good. We're good, guys. Okay. We're doing good. We're hanging in there, guys. Brother drives a Tesla while I'm over here with a busted Yaris that has a squeaky belt and creaky suspension, and I'm the rich one. Danny? Man, I gotta agree, I have no use for a Steam Deck. Bro! Look, I'm just jealous because I cannot afford a Steam Deck. Don't you have, what? Matt, tell me right now, what graphics card is in your main computer? I know you recently went AMD with your CPU, which I disagree with in terms of video editing, but it's your computer. What graphics card is in there? I can't remember. Yaris is the GOAT. My 2007 is still running, but no AC though. 230K miles. Wow, amazing. What's your thoughts on the current Intel CPU prices with 13th to 14th gen? Well, what am I supposed to say? I want them to do better. It's not the end of the world. Just update your BIOS and you'll be good. I think people overblew it, and Intel fixed it, apparently. So that's good. But I wish it would have came sooner. And apparently they are RMA anyone who needs to RMA, which is cool. But I don't think everyone needs to RMA. I think just do the BIOS update and people should be good. Is this the only one? Power? Only power? Okay. So yeah, I currently use Intel. I like Intel. I like QuickSync. But AMD is pretty cool too. I think they're all pretty good. Let's get this power switch in. The front panel power connector. Nice. Look at that. Beautiful. Take that to 300K and beyond. Eh? What does that mean? Shh, that's not important. The PC man says, I just got a Steam Deck. It's the best thing I ever bought. Cool, man. Glad you're enjoying it. Oh, the mileage? Oh. Yeah. What's my favorite game to play at the moment? Mine's is what? My favorite game to play at the moment, I've been playing a lot of the Finals. It is a very fast-paced, free-to-play shooter that is dying, but it's very fun, very fast-paced, very hectic. People can get very cracked at that game, but it's very fun. Didn't they deny the algorithms at the start, though, saying it was your system's fault, not Intel's? Probably. Just so we're clear, every corporation is unethical in a capitalist society. Do not trust Intel, Asus, MSI, Fractal, any computer company. They're all garbage, all of them. AMD, okay? Just so we're clear, there is no one company better than the other. They are all out to make profit, okay, guys? So when a company does something unethical, don't go, oh, I can't believe that happened. Go, yeah, that's what they do. You know what I mean? And then just buy with your money. If you don't trust Intel anymore, that's cool. Go buy AMD. You know what I mean? Spend your money how you see fit on who you perceive as being trustworthy, and just know that they will all screw you over in the end. And just call it at that. You know what I mean? Do what's best for you. Oh, WOD is World of Tanks. Cool, man. Very cool. I never played World of Tanks, but I heard it's cool. Okay, we need to get the graphics card in. I need 2 slots. Here we go. Wait, I need to put the PSU in first. I like to do PSU before a graphics card. Ooh, I just almost broke the computer. But yeah, guys, don't become fanboys of any company. Companies don't care about you. They just care about your wallet. They're all the same, whether it's Intel or AMD, okay? Rob's been playing that First Ascendant because I got to be a sexy bunny girl. Don't tell my parents. Dude, I played it for a few hours of First Ascendant. It is fun. I need to get back to it. It was very good. I like that it has good graphics. It's pretty rare to see a free-to-play game that utilizes stuff like DLSS and frame generation. It's very cool. Very cool. Oh wait, it's in the description. 3060 RTX. Oh, I forgot to update that. So yes, just to update, if you just got here, everything that we're building here is in the description, except for the GPU. Technically, this GPU is not going to be the RTX 3060. That's what I recommend if you build something like this. My uncle, who this is for, said he wants an RX 6600 because it's cheaper, and frankly, most of his video editing will be done on the CPU and not on the GPU, so it's his choice. But if you guys build it, I would say, yeah, buy the 3060. So far, the 7800 X3D has done way better than expected for editing. I've been surprised, honestly. Cool. Yeah, I mean, it gets to a point where they're so powerful that it's hard to top it out, right? And I mean, that's like the best AMD CPU. So, and it's just kind of like when you buy like the 7900 XTX, it's like, yes, it's not an NVIDIA card, so the ray tracing won't be as good, but it's so powerful that the ray tracing is gonna be good enough anyway. You know what I mean? But cool, I mean, as long as you like it. Like, I love that you love it, like seriously. If it's working for you, that is awesome. I love AMD. I love that they bring the prices down on their CPUs and their GPUs, because Intel doesn't, man. I don't know what they're smoking. So I love that AMD has more options, and I love that they are have more budget oriented at times, and they just have better options. Okay, let's get this PSU in. Enough dilly-dallying, enough shaming everyone for spending money. Come on. Can I get this PSU in? Hold on. Do I have to take this out? Fractal has this thing in the back that is in the way. I don't think I can get my... Here, look, I'll show you. Sorry. Sorry, guys, I'm hiding it. So this, I guess, is the SSG tray, but it pokes out below the bottom, and I don't think I can get the PSU in without taking it out. Usually I would just slide this in here, but it is actually blocking it. So that's kind of annoying. I don't remember this last time I built in a Fractal Pop Air. Is this a new thing? No, it comes out easily, but... So basically what you would do is you would mount your 2.5 SSDs to here, and then just tie it in like this, right? So it's a nice feature, but I don't remember that being there last time. Okay, need my PSU screws. Are these it? Yup. First Ascendant was pretty fun for the few nights I played it, but man, that Korean grind sets in real fast. I haven't touched it for a few weeks. It looks very pretty and runs really smoothly though. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt too. I'm like, yeah, this is fun, but it feels like I'm running on a treadmill with no end. And that can be fun. I like my games to end. I like them to have an end goal. That's why I don't like a lot of roguelites. Sorry. Because a lot of roguelites don't have ends, right? Like they are by design, you play them forever. Some games you just play forever. And I need a sense of progression, and I need a sense where a game will eventually come to an end. But that's just me. It doesn't mean the game's bad. It's just how I am. We need some Christmas music? Why? It ain't even Christmas, dude. Soon, though. I will be doing a very special live stream in about a month, guys. So keep your eyes peeled on the channel. Very special. I can't say what it is. It's not the one with Danny. It's a better one. Keep your eyes peeled. I'll put up like a 2-day warning for it, though. So don't feel like it's going to be last minute. Come on. Did I not line this up properly? What is going on? Oh, I see what I did here. I can push it over a little more. Why does that not line up properly? Oh, it's because of this one. Foolish Jason. Foolish Jason. Sorry guys, it's hard to do two things at once. I'm an idiot. I don't have the brain capacity to multitask. And I'm sweating. There we go, okay. Oops, my B. Have you ever played Yakuza? You know what, I actually own all the Yakuza games. I bought them recently, and it's one of those games where I knew I should be playing it sooner. It just never happened, right? Like, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be great. I love Yakuza's right up my alley. And it just never happened. But I bought it recently and I have it installed, and I've been working on Yakuza 0 to start, and it's been really fun. But I have not gotten any further than that. I'm saving it for soon. I'm gonna play it through. Let me do this one first. And but yeah, it seems very interesting so far. I think there's a little bit too much talking. But it is funny. I like the lightheartedness of the game. It's very silly. If you like Japanese humor, there's a lot of that kind of stuff in it. Oops. Come on. Am I going crazy? Are these all not power supply? Is that what's going on here? I don't think these are power supply screws at all. I think I just grabbed the motherboard screws. Oh well. If I start hearing Christmas song, I commit seppuku. Christmas music's okay. I don't understand people who like listen to it in their car. It's kind of the thing you hear on every commercial and every store you go into. But if you're like listening to it in your free time, that's kind of strange. But it's not the end of the world. All right, let's get this back on. It's addicting, yeah. Not December yet, guys. True. Okay. All right. We have everything in here except for the graphics card. I'm going to route the PSU cables to the front now, plug in all the fans, and then literally the last thing we're going to do is plug in the GPU and test it. So that's all I'm doing. This is just housekeeping. This is the boring part of building computers, guys, where you start just plugging everything in and like routing cables, and it's not very interesting, so there's not much for me to narrate. This is the part where all those tech creators, they skip over because it's just boring. Let's see. This is PCIe. Is there a hole here I can use? Yeah, let's go through there. Can we have a Steam Deck gaming session after this? Man, if I start playing on my Steam Deck, everyone's gonna leave but you, dude. It's bad enough to play on the computer. People don't want to watch that. But we can talk about Steam Decks. If y'all missed it, I actually put out a review of the ROG Ally X this morning at 11 a.m. And it's pretty interesting. I kind of like it. It is better than the original in basically every way. Like, truly, it makes the original ROG, like, insignificant. Except for the price. I can't imagine going back to the original. The only reason you would is because they're so dang cheap. There's so many returns. But the new one's kind of expensive, but it is really good. But it has the same processor as the old one, so don't get your hopes up that it's going to be, you know, brand new and amazing new performance. It is just better. I think it's overrated, and it will just make the OG one cheaper. Nice. Yep, that's fine. I would say overrated. It's not overrated. It is pretty good. It's just expensive. I think it's, let's see. I'm really happy with the OLED Steam Deck. Nice. OLED Steam Deck's great. We're here for you, Jason, not the PC building. It's cool. Thanks, man. I need that. Appreciate that. Making content can be very difficult sometimes, guys. And I appreciate everyone who's here. You guys are fantastic. I do this for y'all. I don't make money on these live streams. This This is just for me to talk to you and you to talk to me, right? This is kind of like a lunch hour where we can just hang out and talk and see what's going on. This is not for money. This is not for anything except to talk to the community, see what you guys are up to, see what's out there, what's new, what's Gucci, because that's what I want to hear. So I appreciate you guys being here. I think Danny knows it can be a very and Matt, it can be a very solitary job sometimes, and feels very unrewarding sometimes because it's so random. You know what I mean? You can put out a video that you think is like an absolute banger, like you spent weeks or months on, right? And you think this is going to be awesome. People are going to love this. And then no one does, right? And it's not your fault sometimes, and it's not YouTube's fault. It just happens. So it can get very frustrating sometimes. But I still love it. I love making content. I love talking to y'all on these streams. I love the PC community, the Steam Deck community. Anyone who comes and watches, I appreciate all of you guys. You're all great. Right now, I'm just doing the boring cable management, plugging in the fans. We should be done here in about 5 minutes. Pretty much almost done. It's just the GPU is left, plugging in the fans, and then jamming all these cords inside, and we're good. PC Man has the LCD Steam Deck, and it's still amazing. Nice. That's a great bargain. Mac, I feel that so much. Yeah. Yeah, that's just how it is, man. I don't know how you guys talk to the camera. Well, I can never do that with no one talking back. It is hard. And it's a skill that you have to acquire. It's a skill I'm still acquiring. I'm not good in front of the camera, guys. I'm not good off the cuff. I'm not good in these live streams. My mouth is so dry. My heart is pounding. I'm not, especially as like a nerd, I think you can all relate. I'm not the best in front of an audience. You know what I mean? I have massive stage fright. If you guys were all in my room right now watching this, I would be pooping myself and other stuff. The fact that you're on the internet makes it a little easier, but it's tough. It takes a lot of work. What you see on the camera gets edited down. What might be a 10-minute video takes an hour and a half of filming because there's just so many mess ups and there's so many deep breathing and just nervousness and anxiety. It's a lot of work for people who aren't naturally gifted in being in front of a camera. You know who is naturally gifted in front of a camera is, well, I feel like, is Scattervolt. If y'all are unfamiliar with Scattervolt, he is a tech content creator. He's a great guy. But he started his channel, I think when he was like 16, right? Very young, very young. And for a while he was faceless and he's just a voice. Then he got in front of the camera, and this 16-year-old kid was in front of the camera talking as if he'd been doing it his whole life. He had such a natural camera presence that felt so good, and like he was able to project and speak so well and properly. At being able to have that at 16 is very surprising, right? And I just remember watching that video and thinking like, man, that's amazing. He can do that at 16. That is a gift. That is not something that comes that easily, but it came easily to him. So I'm happy for him, because that is something it can be very tough for a lot of us. Very, very jealous of him, but I'm sure he has his own anxieties, his own worries, his own things that are hard. But from my perspective, I think he is killing it, and I wish him the best. So if y'all are not watching Scattervolt, you should. He makes a lot of great content on here. Plugging in the fans now. Okay, my hands are too big for this. Put it down. Come on, here we go. Cool. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. This is the boring part. No Budget says yes, and it's worse when people say stuff like, you fell off. Like, thanks, bro. I totally don't notice when a video doesn't hit or when the channel is in a slump. Bro, I'd rather have gotten on and fell off than be a random internet hater who can never get on to begin with. Very, very true, Danny. Very true. Yeah, Scatterable has been grinding away with his channel. I'm guessing he's in his mid to late 20s now. Yeah, I think he's in his mid to late 20s actually. He started doing game videos and stopped doing that in 2020 and started doing tech videos. Cool, man. Cool, Jonathan. Yeah. And yeah, Danny, it's just, that's how it is. Specs, sorry if you already decided to join. No problem, JKPC. The specs are in the video description. You can check it out there. This is a video editing PC. So yeah, check the description. It is all there for you, my brother. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. But yes, you're very right, Danny. Guys, don't be dicks online to strangers. Do your best. Be good. We're all in the same community. Don't be haters. Okay. Get this graphics card in. Is that in? I feel like it's being protruded by something. Oh, he broke it. No. Oh, I think the card is a little unaligned. What's going on? What is in the way? Something's in the way. Come on. Here we go, hit that click. There it is. I don't know what was in the way. Oh, I think the GPU cable is in the way. All right, let's plug this in. I'll make this all pretty later when I give it to him. I don't think he really cares, to be honest. This could be a Dell computer and he'd be with it. Let's use the big ones. Yeah, Danny, very true. Rather to be someone who had it and fell off, which you didn't, by the way, than to be just some idiot online who's spreading hatred. Let's get these in. It's so dark. Okay, one more. And then we are pretty much done. Now, what do we think? Do I put the case back on before trying to turn it on? Are we feeling lucky, guys? Do we feel like I missed anything? I'm feeling like we put everything on and just try it. Like we don't try it before putting the case on. What do we feel? That's pretty much it. I'm just gonna stuff all of these in here for now. I'll make it pretty for him later. This is called the old Jason tuck. It's unrelated to another kind of tuck you might have heard of. This is tape. That's the tuck, and now this is the squeeze. You tuck all that in there, then you slam this on top, squeeze it down. Easy. This is a nice case. There's actually not, you don't really have to squeeze it, actually. Oh, okay. This is looking great, man. Let's kind of tuck in some of those PSU cables so they're not sprawling out like Evangelion guts. Hide a little bit of that. It's kind of ugly in these cables, but you know what? It is what it is. We'll get it fixed later. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. This is a video editing PC, nothing fancy, but these will be RGB, so this will look a little pretty. But before I test it on, let me read some comments and we will get it tested. That's not a 3060. Yes, I agree. PC Man, you weren't here. This is a 6600. Originally, we were going to go with the 3060. I actually have it over here. My uncle really wanted a 6600 because it's cheaper. So I have both. If you're going to build this, use the 3060. But my uncle wanted it. He's the client. It is what it is. We went with the 6600. And if I see any more Ryzen 4070 comments, that's not funny. I agree. I don't understand. Like, it's not funny. It might have been funny the first time it was said, but now that I keep seeing it, I'm like, this is not funny, guys. You just sound like children. Stop commenting the same thing. You mean we shouldn't make 2-hour roast videos? Well, no, you should do that, man. That's true. Just be a rebel and tuck it all in and boot it up. The case looks like the Fractal Pot Mini Air. Yes, correct. If so, I have that case too, and yesterday I discovered that the built-in fans are not PWN. I facepalmed myself. Yes. Have any bottleneck in this build? So not really a bottleneck. I would say this is a video editing PC, so we're not going to see any bottlenecks, anything like that. It's just different. But this would be perfect for a gaming build. This is a gaming build, let's be honest, it is. It has 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte SSD, so it's just a little bit overkill on some stuff. We could go cheaper if this was a gaming build, but again, it's a video editing build, so we went a little bit more expensive with some of the stuff. If I had to say a bottleneck, I'd say the CPU is a little bit more powerful than it needs to be. We could afford a bigger GPU, but I wouldn't call it a bottleneck, right? We're just saying like you're just ready for anything, I suppose. This is a 12400. But overall, I think it's going to be great for him as a video editing machine. And I suppose if his grandkids want to play games on it, they could. But I don't know. But that's not what it's for. Test it already. I will. Have any bottleneck in this build? Hey, I just answered the bottleneck thing. Hey, should I buy an Amazon $300 PC and monitor pack or build me? If you don't want to build your own computer, that's okay. I would say you can certainly buy one. I would not buy a cheap computer, if that makes sense. So the problem is that it's one thing if you're buying a $1,000 pre-built because they're going to take $100 of profit on that, but you're still going to get a $900 computer. The problem is when you buy a $300 computer, you're getting a $150 computer. Does that make sense? So I would say if you have a budget that low, I would recommend building it yourself, because you have to spend the money to get more performance out of it. Or sorry, you have to spend the labor, right? If you have more money, go ahead and buy a pre-build. There's no problem with that. But on the lower end, it's kind of hard, right? That's like saying, hey, I have $5. I need to feed me and my wife. Should we go out to eat or should we make food at home? You and your wife could go out and have food for $5. You could figure it out. It's not going to be a lot of food, and it's not going to be good food, right? Because it's only $5. You have to pay for labor and you have to pay for tax and all that. You'll have more food at home for $5 because you're cooking at home, you're doing the labor, you're buying in bulk, that kind of thing, right? But if you had $100, hey, I have $100 for me and my wife to go eat. Should we go out to eat or should we stay at home? A little bit of a difference, right? Obviously, it's still going to be cheaper to stay at home, but $100 can get you a lot of food. You know what I mean? So I don't even know how you'd eat $100 worth of food at home. You could do it, but you know, does that make sense? Am I completely off base? Did anyone understand what I just said? Is that an analogy? How long would I take, like research-wise? Not that long. Researching is not that hard. Just watch some videos. I've been researching all summer to build my own PC. Nice. Build for sure. Very, very good. Yeah, I get it. Okay, I'm glad you'll understand it. Okay, but yes, either way, I have no problems with pre-builds. Just know what you're getting yourself into. Good analogy. Thank you, thank you. Halfway through it, I'm like, does this even make sense? Do they understand what I'm saying? Like, how do I know how to find the right thing for the right deal? That's hard. It really is. I would say just look around a lot and just see. It's very hard. I'd say you can join different Discords, like the PC building Discord on Reddit. I'm sure they'd be able to help you. People can give you an idea of what you can build and where to buy it. Just watch videos and like just get an idea, learn the space. Like, you know, that's the downside. You have to do the research yourself, but you will save yourself some money and you'll learn a new hobby in the meantime. So, all right, let's turn this on. Let's power this. Okay, will my power cord reach? I'm hoping this turns on first try. That would be fantastic. Here we go. Hit the power on the back. Any tips then? My tip is to watch a lot of YouTube and to buy used. Here we go. Where's power button? Where's power? 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 Oh! There it is. We did it. Okay. When these lights are pre-configured, it'll look very nice. This is a great video editing PC. 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabytes of Gen 4, but really Gen 3 because it's an H610 board. SSD, an RX 6600, 12400, which is 6-core, 12-thread. H610M board. It's got Wi-Fi on it. This is going to recycle because this is a new CPU. Yeah, RGB. I think he's going to really like this. It's small. It's more compact. It'll fit in his desk a little bit better. I don't know. I think it's perfect. I think it's great. I think this will work out just good for him. And at the end of the day, this is going to make him some money too. He's going to be using this to make money. So the savings are just going to keep going. It looks pretty good. I'm glad it booted on first try because that'd be kind of embarrassing. Do you think flipping PCs can be a decent side hustle if you know, or sorry, do you think flipping PCs can be a decent side hustle if you know what you are doing? Anything where you are buying something and reselling it can be a decent side hustle, right? The problem is that if you are young, if you are a teenager, you have to put in the money yourself. And if you make a big mistake, no one's there to bail you out, right? So if you buy $500 worth of computer parts and you are trying to sell it and you realize you're in over your head and you're trying to get $700 for it, you can't do it. 600, it's not working. 500, nope. And you just keep going and going and going until you are now losing money. That sucks. As a teenager where your funds are very limited, it's not great. You know what I mean? So while it can be a good side hustle, anything can be a good side hustle if you're just buying and selling. It's mostly to gain experience as a PC builder for fun. I'd say consider it as a hobby, not as a side hustle, right? Your hobbies can make you money, and that's nice, but don't call it a side hustle because you're doing it for the love of PC building and any money you make is on top. But if you can't afford to buy those parts as a teenager or someone with not a lot of money, I'd say don't do it because then you're going to be in over your head when something happens. And if you need to liquidate those parts, it's going to be kind of tough. So just be careful, okay, guys? Micro Center, yeah, Micro Center is good. Amazon Newegg, very good. If I absolutely had to buy a pre-built, I think I'd at least get it from Costco for easy return policy. Yeah, Costco's a great place to buy a pre-built if you know what you're looking for. They offer extra warranty on top of anything you buy there. I think it's an extra year, right? Which is pretty cool. And they also have a great return policy, so you can return it for any issue and you just drive up and give it to them. You don't have to ship it back or something. So yeah, Costco could be great if you know what you're doing, for sure. If I'm doing like a Fortnite in a row PC, should I go all out, like spend a lot? No, listen to the PC man. Those are very easy games to run. You don't need to spend an insane amount of money. This is looking great. I'm very happy. This is good. So like I said earlier, I don't know if this is exactly $600. This is more like $650. No, well, I think with the RX 6600, I think it is $600. Let me think. The 12400 we got on Amazon resale for $110. This was $120. The 2 terabyte solid dime I think was $80. I got it used as well. The RAM probably $50 because it's DDR4. The motherboard was like $60. The case was like $60. The power supply was like $50. So yeah, around $600, around there. But then plus tax, because this is a real life budget, not like a YouTube video budget. So I'll have to add it up later and just give it to him. I'm not taking a profit on this. This is for my family. I don't really like to profit off family and friends. So I'm just gonna add up all the money, tell him this is how much it costs, and he's just gonna give me that money directly. You know what I mean? He's gonna pay for all the parts. Labor's free. So, and I got to build it for all of you. We got to hang out and do something together. So it was worth it. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. It looks great. I think that is cool. Can I still enjoy my AAA single player games on a budget PC? Yeah, you absolutely can. It just might be a little harder depending on how cheap it is, right? Some PCs are so low that they have a hard time playing those. You might have to dip down the resolution, or you might have to dip down, well, that goes the wrong way. You might have to reduce the frame rate to like 30 or something. Okay, let me relocate over here. We are done at that board. I can stop sweating. Let me turn this off. And let me turn this on. Whoop. Don't look at my chi-chis, guys. Okay. Go talking head. Boom. Look at that. We are professional streamers now, guys. Look at us. Hey, look at us. We're professionals now. I'm gonna relocate this. Look at that. Hey, we're doing okay, guys. Running a 1070 Mini? That's a great card. Yeah, I love the 1070. For me, the budget PC builds that aren't $100 start at the 1070. I don't really like going the 1060 route anymore. I think it's a little bit too old and it's a little bit too low, but if you have to, you know, it's fine. But I prefer 1070 and above. I have a Dell 1080. That's cool. 1080s are great too. Guys, what you have here, I'm gonna get really close for this. What you have as a computer does not matter. Your worth is not built into the computer specs that you own. That computer was built so that you can work on it and that you can play games and you can have fun with your friends. You can hang out in Discord. You can use Photoshop. You can do anything. As long as you're having fun doing those things, the specs of the computer does not matter. Now, if you aren't having fun doing those things because your computer is slowing you down, then you can maybe worry. But ultimately, it's about the fun you're having or the work you're doing, okay? So don't worry too much. Your computer's awesome, and you're awesome, okay? Did we get it clear? If I would build a PC, what is the best budget for a good PC? I would say like $2,000. Say like like 2,000. That's the best budget. The best budget is about $2,000. Personally, I'm a fan of the RTX 2060 68 for budget 1080p builds. Yeah, the RTX 2060 has dropped in price recently, and I think it's a good start. Honestly, the rest of the 20 series, I kind of don't like. I think it's overpriced, except for the RTX 2060 and maybe the 2070 Super, because I've seen them both pretty good in the used world. But outside of that, I would rather just go up to the 3060. So it's hard to find a medium ground if we're talking NVIDIA. Otherwise, you go 5700 XT or something, you know what I mean? Sir, I'm 11, 2K. Look, why do you say that so casually? Isto, listen to me. You asked what the best budget for a good computer is. It is certainly going to be a lot of money, right? That's the best. The more money you spend on a computer, the better a computer it will be. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to do that, right? What you need to do is you find out how much money you have, right? So let's say you want, I said good, not perfect. I didn't say perfect. $2,000 is not enough money to make a perfect computer. You'll need more than that. You'll need maybe 3,000 or 4,000, okay? Here's what you're gonna do. I'm gonna give you step-by-step details. You're gonna figure out how much money you think you can make, right? As an 11-year-old, your options are limited. I understand that. You don't have a job. You're broke. What are you gonna do? Ask your parents for money? Go into the room when they're sleeping? Slip your little hand into their wallet? Pull out a $100 bill? Maybe. Don't do that. That's stealing. But if you need the money, you gotta figure out how much you're gonna get it. How do you get money? Homework? Chores? Birthday? Christmas? I don't know. Figure out how much money you can get realistically and in what amount of time. Let's say I college funds. Do not spend your college funds on a computer. But I'm going to tell you anyway. Let's say you agree that you can get $300 in the next 6 months. I don't know. I'm just saying, anything. Go on YouTube right now and type $300 gaming PC. See the ones that are built most recently. People are building computers at different budgets, not just me, other people. And if it's more recently, the price is more realistically. They're gonna tell you where they got it, how much they paid, and that's a good starting point to see what you can buy in 6 months or whatever. But then prices change, so you can maybe add more. Things generally get cheaper over time. So it's a good starting point, right? But you need that budget to start. You need to know how much money you're possible of making. And it's different if you're an adult with a job, because then it's easier, right? But as a child or a teenager, it's hard to say, you're right? So I don't want to give you a number. I'm just saying, think about how much money you can make in that time. And if you want to put that towards a computer, and then start looking up the basis of what that computer could be, and then build upon that. And then that whole time, in those 6 months, you're researching, you're watching YouTube videos, you're learning, you're out there, you're talking in Discord, you're doing everything, you know what I mean? So spend that time and to understand it and learn about the hobby, right? And just earn the money. Well, if I do a $300, should I just buy a console? Yeah, you totally can. If you don't want a computer, buy a console. Absolutely. If all you want to do is play games, you just want to play games, you have no interest in anything else, nothing else, you don't care about PCs, you just want to play some games very easily, buy a console. They're fantastic. You have an Xbox One right now? Yeah. Xbox is out there, $200. Yeah, absolutely. You can get, I'm pretty sure pretty soon, I guarantee the PS4 discless will probably be $300 come this Black Friday. That's my guess. Maybe $350. That's brand new. If you buy it used, probably $300. That's my guess. So you can absolutely buy a console. Don't worry too much about it. But that's up to you. Do some research. It's not all about computers. Computers aren't good if you want to do a lot of things, but if you just want a game, don't do that, right? Use Jason's budget build guys, they are great. Yes, you can use mine, you can use anyone else's. Thank you for that. Anything, like there's tons of creators on here who would show you a good starting point. But like I said, prices change over time. So like I have a video from a year ago where I built a $200 computer, and in that I use a GTX 1070 graphics card. Prices have changed so much that 1070 is now cheaper. So, and the 1080, which is the more stronger version, is actually the same price as the 1070 was now. So that computer, you can actually get that computer with a better graphics card now for $200. Does that make sense? So prices change, so just don't like feel like you're stuck in that bubble. Just keep an eye on it and like research it and just have an idea of what you want to buy in that budget. Or just buy a console. Consoles are great. And Danny has a good point. He can't play WoW on a PlayStation. There are a lot of games you cannot play on consoles. So just look about the games you want to play, make sure they're on the console that you want to buy, and just, make sure if you want to play with friends, make sure your friends are playing on there too. So it's a lot of questions to ask, guys. GKPC, do you think you will do more streams like this? Yes, I do want to. I did one a few weeks ago, just like this. They won't be on a regular scheduled program. Basically, anytime I have something to do, like build a computer or organize something, I need something to do while I do the stream, guys. I don't want to just sit here and talk, you know what I mean? Like I need something to do, like build a computer or something. If y'all have an idea, like I love it. One thing I was thinking of is that I have this this Digimon Gunpla right here. Should I do a stream where I put that together? Because you have to kind of cut it apart and glue it together, and it does take some time. I thought that would be kind of fun to do on stream, and we just talk the whole time, and that would give me something to do with my hands, but it's not very like PC. It's kind of just playing with toys. Yet the PC man. I just want to play 2K, Madden, FIFA, Fortnite, and Valorant. I have Xbox Next Gen, but I want the mods and to play other PC games. Yeah, very true. You need mods on a PC. What kind of PC should I get? You could be. I mean, it just depends on your budget, man. If you buy a $400 computer, you will be able. If you build a $400 computer, you'll be able to play all those games just fine, right? If you buy a $500 computer, you'll be able to play those games better. $600, even better. Maybe more storage space. $700, even better, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean the games are going to be laggy at $400. They're just going to be lower resolution or lower frame rate, but not necessarily bad. It's just going to be better, right? So you have to look up what you can do if you want to see what what a game is going to look like, a PC is going to look like. You can type in the CPU and GPU into YouTube and then type the word benchmarks. So if you're saying like, I have a $500 budget. Let's see, $500 would fit this is off the top of my head, let's say a 2600 and a 5700 XT, right? That CPU and GPU, I wonder what that would look like. You can type in those words into YouTube, 2600, 5700 XT, and the word benchmarks. And there are many people who literally will showcase games at different resolutions using that hardware. And so it's not gonna be perfect, but it gives you a good idea of what you can expect whenever you do buy that PC, right? And if you think that that's not gonna be enough for you, you can increase it and then go look at what someone else did. Or if you can decrease it if it's too much and you wanna save some money, you can do that too, right? So don't feel like, what's a good PC for this? It's like, no, set a budget, go look at what that can buy. If that's not good enough, increase the budget. If it's too good, decrease the budget, right? So it's just like that. Like, it's hard to say what's good. It's your own budget. But I will say, I don't recommend computers under $200. And I barely recommend $200. Like, if you have to, a $200 PC is basically, I have no other choice. Anything above that's fine, but you shouldn't really be building at $200 unless you absolutely have to, or if you don't care about computers and you just need it for something. You know what I mean? So if you have some money, a little bit more than 200 would be fine, but that's a good starting point is 300, I would say. And then just work your way up from there, okay? You cannot play the finals on a $200 console, just buy a pre-built office PC, plug a GPU to play the finals PC. Yeah, that is always an option too. I did that as well. I think we're kind of moving away from that as the office PCs are kind of getting priced out. The old ones are a little too old now. The new one's a little bit too expensive. So we're in a weird place. The only one that actually makes sense is the P520. I think someone said that earlier. And that's fine. I'm never a fan of consoles, to be brutally honest with you. That's fine. I think PC is way better. That's fine, dude. I am here not to pick sides. I am here to make sure you, the viewer, get information on everything you need to know. And if you don't like consoles, that's okay. But if you do like consoles and you want to just play games, just do it. Not everyone wants to be into PCs, you know? I understand that. It's not for everyone. This hobby is not for everyone, and that's okay. If you just want to play games with your friends, or if you're like, you know, just getting into it, I totally get that. It's totally understandable. I just want to give as much information as I can. And if you don't like consoles, that's okay. And if you don't like PCs, that's also okay. It just depends what you need it for, yes. I like the P520 idea, but it looks huge. It is huge, dude. I will say, the P520 is kind of slender. I will say it's a little bit smaller in this, like the waist, but it is very tall. It's very tall. So that's not that big a deal, right? Like you have room to the ceiling, right? Most people do. It's the table space that you need to worry about. So I'd say don't worry too much about that, because that is actually very narrow on it. It's the height that makes it very big. I love the P520. If I had to get rid of anything and just buy an office PC, I would get a P520 and put a 3060 in it. And that would be, you know, a $300 computer. Do you know the P520s dropped in price? They were $200 when I made my video. And Danny, when you made your video, they were $200. They're $150 now. They actually dropped in price. So it's even better value. Like, I don't know why. I thought they would go up. They actually dropped in price. They're down to $150. Put a 5700 XT in it, for another $150. $300 PC. That is insane value. I mean, you need storage too, but that's a great deal. It depends what you need it for or what your hobby is. Yeah, very true. And some people make money on theirs. Like my PC is going to be different from your PC because mine is my job. I have to use mine for work, and it has a very special use case. It needs to be able to stream like this. It needs to be able to game. It needs to be able to do benchmarks, record footage, video edit. Like it needs to do a lot of things. If you just want to play GTA 5 with mods, it's going to be a very different situation. Can you do a 3070 in it? Yeah. But I would say that's the most I would do. Any further than a 3070, it's going to be bottleneck city. I would say maybe don't put a 3080 in it because you're going to be sacrificing performance. But a 6700 XT or a 3070 in it, I feel like is like that perfect. You'll be okay. You're kind of teetering on a little too much, but a 3070 in it would be pretty good. The only thing that will confuse me is having the right power surge and get that fit. It's complicated for me. That's okay, studs. It's complicated for everyone. Don't worry. Everyone gets complicated at that. You just take your time, ask questions by people. Hey, we're all here. We're answering your questions. You're answering our questions. We're all together in this. Hey, don't be afraid to ask questions. Just do your research. Try to look it up yourself whenever you can, and do what you can. They have had pretty decent price on those used right now. Yeah, I think the 3070 is down to like 260 used. That's pretty crazy considering that's nuts, man. Remember the GPU shortage during the early days of the pandemic and how crazy it was? That was nuts. Okay, Reluctant Hero. I'm trying to think of a good upgrade for a $400 PC. 2600, a B450, 1660 Super, 16 gigs of DDR5, 512 gig M.2 SSD, 550 watt MSI VSU, and the cheapest ATX. DDR4, okay. Well, that's what I was gonna say, yeah, DDR4. I don't think you can do any better than that. It seems like you've got everything covered for $400. Yeah, I don't think you can do any better than that. That $400 is a tight budget. I would say the 16 Super could be replaced with a 1080. 1080s are pretty cheap, and that might be better than the 1660 Super, I believe. But for $400, it's a pretty tight budget, I would say. Yeah, you might have to spend more money on it, man. Try to check out the 16 Super and 1080. I believe a 1080 is better. but I'd have to check. And they're pretty cheap now. They're like $100. Did I miss anything else? If you have a PC, games are basically free if you know where to get them. We don't talk about that here. Ryzen 5, 5500, MSI B550. Okay, hold on. Ryzen 5, 5500, a B550 board, a 3060. I had to read between the lines. An RM, okay, 750 watt power supply, 4000 D case, all for 500. Please tell I got a good deal. Please together and ready for the marketplace. Is it used? I think it's pretty good. Yeah, 3060 about 200, 550 about 100. Yeah, I'd say it's good. Sounds pretty good to me. Isto, we don't talk about that here. Don't make me ban you. We don't talk about that here. No, no, no. We don't talk about that, okay? 1080 is better. Yeah, I thought the 1080 is better as well. DDR4 RAM, 32 gigs. Okay, yeah, I think you got a good day. Yes, Valscar's got it. Steam. Steam Epic Games, yes. That is where you buy games. Well done, bro. You go to Steam, you go to Epic Games, and you purchase them. That's how we do it here, okay? Yep, you're right. Tech Power Up shows the 1080 has roughly 17% more power than a 1660 Super. Yeah, the 1660 Super came out at a weird time. I don't quite understand that whole 16 line. I would rather just get a 1070 or 1080. I don't know why we need all this stuff in between. Yeah, I think a 1080 is pretty good. And it's a good price too, yeah. If that's your budget, that'd be pretty good. Steam Summer Sale is a great time to buy them, yeah. The Steam Summer Sale just ended. I think the next sale for Steam is what? Back to school? Or probably fall, autumn, when autumn starts, I think. Who's downloading games from Discord? Kids are, apparently, I don't know. That's what they're doing. Okay, guys, we are winding down here. I think we built that computer. We've been hanging out for a while. I have been live for 2 hours and 17 minutes. That's a very long time for me. I'm going to start wrapping it up here. I would say about 10 minutes, I'm going to end the stream. So get your last questions in or anything last minute stuff. 10 minutes, keep hanging out for a little bit just so we know what's going on. If you haven't watched the newest video on the channel, I did an ROG Ally X review. I was very proud of it. I think it was a pretty fun video to make. Next video coming up, I believe, is testing an external GPU through Oculink. And that'll be very cool. Because I did a video on testing it with Thunderbolt, and this one will be Oculink to NVMe. So if you want a really jank setup with a laptop eGPU, that's how you're gonna do it. And then I think after that, I think I have a $200 computer build coming up as well. And I also have a, don't tell anyone, look, I have a $65 gaming PC video coming up, but it's not what you think. Don't buy it, okay? All right, yeah, so anyway. 1660 line was for folks like me who had a dumb Alienware SFF pre-built with a 300 watt PSU. Ah, I see. Okay, that's fair. Mr. CND, the $10 super chat, dude, thank you so much. You're awesome. That's so nice of you. Thank you so much. That is going straight to the good cat food for my cats. Man, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. I love hanging out with you. Again, don't give money, guys. Save your money. Like, I'd rather you guys have that. This is a budget channel. Like, I want you guys to save money. But if you do feel like it, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's so nice of you. Really. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Around 2 hours, 30 minutes. Oh, yeah. I'm going to make it nice. Yes, I will end the stream at 2 hours, 30 minutes. That help. And if you came in late to the stream, this will be saved. So you can view it on the channel afterwards if you want. You can go through and like rewind and fast forward and all that. So yeah, I don't hide these. Retro Game Core is going a lot with Oculink. It is much better. Really? Very cool. Yeah, so far I've seen Oculink seems pretty cool. I wish more things support it. It would be very cool if we can get better support for it. It could be very cool. You are always so real in your streams and videos. I love it. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I try my hardest. When's the next LAN with Nobe? Oh, dude. I have not heard that in a while. So we don't do LANs, right? There was, if you're familiar with Nobe's content, he had one LAN that was here in Texas, and he came to my home. That was in my house, guys. If you go watch the Nerd on a Budget Texas edition, he did it here. And I would say what we do, if you notice, it's not really a LAN. Once a year, me and my friends, we're all over the country now, so we spend once a year and we all get together and hang out, generally at an Airbnb in Texas, and just spend 5 or 6 days, hanging out, playing video games, eating good food, just catching up, doing video game trivia, and just having a good time, because we just don't get to see each other that often. So that's kind of what Danny went to. We did incorporate LAN into it that year, and we invited Danny, of course. And so he's not coming this year, I don't believe. He doesn't really come to them anymore. He didn't want to come to the one last time. It's kind of far. He's in Seattle, I'm down in Texas. So it is kind of like he has to give up like 5 days to come and has to take a flight. And so it's like a big deal. So I don't blame him, but I don't really record those. Danny did because we allowed him to, but ultimately I spend that time to spend time with my friends and stuff. So I don't want to record it. So yeah. So if you want to go watch LAN parties, go watch Danny's videos because they're great. Shane, great stream, Jason. Thanks for taking the time. Thank you, Shane. Thank you so much for the super chat too. That was super nice of you. I dare you to make a console build. Honestly, Ozzy did that. So you go talk Oz Talks Hardware. He did a video like 2 days ago where he replaced his computer with the Xbox Series S for a week, and he kind of talked about his experience for it. So I'd say go check out his video. It's OZ Talks Hardware. OZ Talks HW. I believe. He's awesome. How much better is an i5 than i7? Is it worth upgrading? I would say generally yes, on the lower end. So if you're using very old parts, an i7 is going to be worth it. If it's something like, if you are only gaming and you're talking about the difference between a 12600KF and a 12700K, unless you're using a very high-end graphics card, I would say don't bother getting the i7. So if it's like a very high-end card now, yeah, you're gonna want the i7. But if you're using mid-range stuff, just go the i5 with modern stuff. But if it's very old, so if we're talking about like 4th gen, 5th gen, 6th gen, I would say if you're gonna, not 5th gen, there is no 5th gen. 4th gen, 6th gen, 7th gen, etc. All their i5s kind of sucked. So I would say go with the i7 if you can afford it. So it is kind of, this is just my opinion though, by the way. Always get more than one opinion. I think i7s were worth it back then. If you're just gaming, I don't think i7s are worth it now anymore. Unless, of course, you have a very, very high-end graphics card. And I'm talking, when I say high-end, I mean like $1,000 card, okay? If you go out and you buy like a 4070 Super, which is like a $600 card, you'll be fine with an i5. An i7 won't really give you any benefit. And that's a $600 card. So if I'm talking about a modern CPU, like 12th gen and ups, It was interesting to watch that video. Yeah, the Oz Talks Hardware. He always does great. I love Ozzy. He is awesome, very smart. What is the better, a 4070 or 4070 Super with an R7 7700X? Obviously, the 4070 Super is going to be better. Yeah. So I think unless you get a very good deal on the 4070 Super kind of made the 4070 irrelevant. It's a significant power increase for not a lot of money. So at that price range, the 7700X can handle anything. So I'd say go with the 4070 Super because you can afford it. If you're even talking about which one's better, you can afford the 4070 Super, just buy it. It's like $50 more and it's worth the extra $50, in my opinion. How much FPS could I get with your PC on Fortnite at high graphics? Which PC? The one I'm using right now? Probably 500, I don't know. What resolution? You mean the PC I'm using right now to stream? Or the one like on another video, I don't know. 500 probably? I don't know. Fortnite's not hard to run. But remember, Isto, I'm not on a cheap computer right now. I'm not on a low budget computer because I use this for work, right? I don't just play games on it. The one you built. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the one I'm streaming on. Okay, this one. Okay, so this one had a 12400 and an RX 6600. So you want Fortnite at high settings. We'll assume it was. We'll assume you mean 1080p. I would guess 180, but I'm gonna look it up right now for you. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to look it up. What you do is you go into YouTube. You can't see what I'm typing because I don't have a scene for it yet. And you type in RX 6600, 12400, Fortnite. And then I'm gonna click on the first video. And this is at 1080p low settings. Let's see. Why is it all blurry? So this guy at low settings is getting 240 FPS. So I would say at high settings, you would probably get closer to 200 or 220. Yeah. So yeah, more than I thought, actually. Pretty good. The 12400F was on a great deal Prime Day. Yeah, it sure was, wasn't it? Oh man, what a great CPU. Taking you the GOAT, you care about your fans. Thanks, Easto, I appreciate that. Yeah, this will do pretty good. I was telling you. But this is a $600 computer, man. That's quite a bit compared to like a $300 one. It's each $100 you add exponentially makes it better, right? But think about it. Do you need 220 FPS on Fortnite? Do you have a monitor that can support that? I guarantee the monitor you're using has 60 hertz, which means you can only watch up to 60 FPS. So then that means you have to buy an expensive monitor, which isn't the end of the world. You can buy a high hertz monitor. They're around about 150 to 200, but then you have to add that to the cost of your PC. So if you buy a $600 PC, you got to buy a $200 monitor as well, right? So it kind of gets more expensive. Because why have 200 FPS if you're running it on a 60 hertz monitor? You know what I mean? So, last thing is, if I was to get a monitor, what should I get? For most people, I just recommend getting a 1440p, 27-inch, 144 hertz monitor. That's, to me, that's an all-around. It's good size, good resolution. Even if you're playing at 1080, that's what I would do. Get that. 144 hertz is enough for anyone. I think it's awesome. And those were on sale during Prime Day for about 200. If you want a little cheaper, you can go 24-inch. So I'd say get a 24-inch. And if you're even cheaper, you can get gaming monitors. As long as it has 144 hertz, I think that's enough for everyone. You can get those down to like 150. So just make sure it has a high refresh rate, okay? I got the Acer 1440p monitor on Prime Day 170. I saw that one, dude. Yeah, my friend bought the Asus one. If you saw that, the 199 one. But he was considering that Acer one, so I know exactly which one you're talking about. I'm loving it for my Xbox right now. Nice. Do you remember the 3 PC you built? I don't know. I built a lot of PCs, man. Which 3 PC? Oh, the 350. Okay. I don't remember it. You can go into my catalog of videos, and all my PC videos all look the same. The thumbnails are like identical. So you just look for the price. That's why it's easy to scan with your eyes. Look at the price and you can see it'll say 500, 600, 500, 600, 200, 100, and just do that and then click the video you want to watch, and the link will be in the description on what's in the products, okay? Or what's in the PC. Yeah. Xbox Gamer, I'm building an all-performance build with no thrills. Nice. Very cool. 32 gigs of RAM, 7700X, and a 47 Super. That is a very solid computer. You will have a great time, man. That's very solid, seriously. Great. I hear a mechanical monitor, keyboard. Okay. I will show you my keyboard, but don't judge me, okay? This is my keyboard. It is nothing fancy. This is it's from an off-brand called Ajaz. This was on sale for 50 bucks, but it uses some nice, I forget the keycaps. Or I forget the switches. I think they're brown? No, they're not brown. Maybe red? I can't remember. But they are really nice and creamy. And this is, you can swap everything, and it has a little knob to control volume or control lights on here. I like that. It's got a little screen with the time and to tell you if it's linking up. It does Bluetooth, it does Wi-Fi, it does just straight up link. So a lot of features for not a lot of money. You know what I mean? I'm not a big keyboard guy, but I liked all the features on it and I liked the look of it. And it's on this rainbow now because it keeps resetting and I keep forgetting to set it. I usually have it on a single color, but I kind of like it, yeah. It is pretty nice, and it's just pretty simple. And I have a little cord here that I keep if I need to charge it, I just plug it in right here. And the cord stays on the table to plug in all my wireless peripherals. Linear reds? It might be reds. I'd have to look it up. I really do forget. Yeah. But it's nice. Let's see. I bought a 32-inch 1080p monitor for $200 locally, brand new. Very nice. Casey, what's up, Casey? Good to see you, dude. Don't trust the guy who thinks the Steam Deck is superior to everything. Wrong. What GPU would theoretically be enough to retro gaming all the way up to the PS3? That's a good question. You know what's funny is that I think the ROG Ally can do PS3 retro emulation. So honestly, you don't need too much. I think a 5700 XT would be more than enough. Or a 6600. And I think that would even get you Switch. Yeah, it's hard, but I think it's not that hard. 1080? If you're not like upscaling anything. If an ROG Ally can handle it, I feel like a 5700 XT could handle it, right? You tried on a 3060 Ti and it's hard? Okay, I guess I don't know then. I personally have not tried PS3 emulation outside of like once, so I can't give you a good. I was just using like back of the brain information on seeing what people have done with like Switch emulation. But if you're saying it's hard, okay, yeah, listen to Valskar then. He knows. I don't know. I thought I did. Interesting. I guess it is hard. Maybe some games are hard. I don't understand why you have to build a 3K PC just to stream a kid's game to Fortnite. Yeah, you don't have to. Some YouTubes. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to. It's the PS3 architecture which makes it hard. It's janky AF. Interesting. Yeah, I don't really do any PS3 emulation. I don't do much emulation, I'll be honest. And whenever I do, it's like very simple stuff, like Final Fantasy Tactics or PlayStation 1, Dreamcast stuff. I'll do a backflip if you explain Riz right now. Isto, if I had to explain Riz to you, you don't got it, okay? I built my PC for $500. It has a 5600, 36 GB RAM, 1 TB 3070. That's a solid build. Yeah, it's very solid. 3070 is great. For $500, man, that's crazy. It's crazy that we can get a 3070 PC. That's a 1440p card for $500. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Reluctant Hero says, yeah, that's a damn shame that about the 13600K and up Intel CPUs. Yeah, it is. It certainly is. All right, good night, mate. PC Man, thank you for watching, man. Good night. Isto, you don't got it. You have no Riz, okay? Just so we're clear. You are Rizless. Jump in a pool because you got burned. LTT mentioned how bad PS3 emulation is on one of his recent videos. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess I got to research it. I'm not really too familiar. But okay, guys, I think that's going to be it. We did it. We built a computer. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Thank you for anyone who super chatted. That is super nice of you. Don't feel compelled like you have to do that. This is in the shot. When you have 7 cats, guys, this is what you need. I'm telling you. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Everyone in the chat, Casey, Valskar, Isto, PC Man, Randominium, Reluctant Hero. Who else did I miss? Who else are you? The Xbox Gamer. Shane Acker, Mr. C&D, GKPC. Thank you so much to everyone's here. Appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Matt Miller, thank you for procrastinating with me. I miss Danny. Thank you, Danny. I talk to Danny all the time. I'll see him in like an hour. It's fine. But so I understand that. But yes, thank you guys. Appreciate it. I will try to do these more, I promise. It won't be once a week, but maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks. I'll do my best to get on. We can just hang out and talk. And if I just wanted to do. Before I go, what are we thinking? Would you watch a stream where I put together some Gunpla of a Digimon thing? Real quick. Say yes or no in the chat. Would you watch me put together that and we can talk? Because if yes, I will stream again. Okay, cool. Yo, Danny, chill. He said, yeah, he's in my DMs more than Dr. Disrespect in underage girls' DMs, and that's saying something. Danny, I'm gonna take your little pencil neck and strangle the life out of you. Gunpla's dope. All right, dude. All right, I will do that then. In like a week, I'll do it then. That sounds good. Okay, guys. And I will shotgun a 4 Loko on stream. Yeah, no won't do it. He's a baby. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Love you. Love you guys.